I'll call this Bang Bang. Seriously?
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Pull up, bitch.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up.
Objection. Objection.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. KO. Bang bang.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up.
Bang, bang.
Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
All right, Mr. Lally, your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor, the Commonwealth will call Trooper Michael Proctor to the stand. Please state your name and spell your last name for the jury.
Michael Proctor, Proctor.
You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
Welcome to the Weekend Live Show.
508 is where I'm from.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
Apache Junction, Taunton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchard, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, Billerica, Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hanson, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Mapleville, Quincy.
Food stands, leave your clothes, buddy, and date them with
You a funny ass guy, man.
Have you
ever heard of Turtle Like, yeah? Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from.
Hey, what's up?
508 is where I'm from.
How was that?
You a freaking idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid.
Call me Aidan. I'm not a doctor, but...
Get out of my store, please.
You're a fucking loser.
You are a loser.
You're not a journalist. You're nobody. You're not turtle hair. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
NFL on the house, blog that.
Let's get this party started.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Boys, go baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chop up the singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8 going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom. You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. Woo! It's go, 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 go time.
Tick, tick, boom.
Boom. What's up, turtle people? How's everyone doing tonight? Good? Good? Excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your fearless host. My name is Aidan Kearney. It's Kearney, not Kearney or Kearney. Get it right, please. You can call me a variety of names, though. You can call me Uncle Turtle Boy. Some people, old school turtle riders, have always called me that. You can call me Dr. Turtle Boy. It's actually my preferred pronoun, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. You can call me Daddy if you like. I understand for some of you guys, might be a little bit weird, call a grown man Daddy, but at the same time, some of you might like it. So I will allow it. You could call me A. Timothy Kearney. That's my new Facebook account. Go follow me on there. It's my true crime name. And yes, Baby Clay is more real than Cora. Exactly. Baby Clay only had one name. We never changed his name. That's it. Anyway, you can call me Journalism Jesus if you'd like. I don't care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. sharp. And make sure, I was at an eatery in Spencer. Somebody just asked me that in the comments. I was at the Black and White Grill tonight, Frontline. Yeah. If anybody, I don't care what you call me, just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night and make sure you smash that subscribe button. We just passed 121,000 subs. Sweet. Pretty cool. Let's get to 125. It'll be even better. All right. Who knows? We can get up to 150, 200, whatever. Just be here. If it's your first time, welcome aboard. We're going to have a great time. We have a lot of fun here. We recap the shit. During the trial, we're going to try to go every day unless the witnesses are just really boring. Like Jessica Hyde, I had nothing to say about her really. I'm like, so that bitch likes to talk, huh? She really likes the sound of her own voice, so I didn't really have much to say about her. But then Bukkenik came the next day. We had Sex Cult, and then we had him yesterday, and I haven't talked about that. So tonight's a Bukkenik night. So clean your face, and we're gonna Bukkenik it up in this bitch. It's gonna be a great time. All right. If you guys want to have your messages read out loud to the class, you can click at the link at the top for something called Turtle Chat. We don't have super chats here because I've been demonetized for a hot minute, and I love every second of it because YouTube steals our money. So that's good. And by the way, we're having some technical issues with the store because we're trying to integrate it with the app. It's like the last step of getting the app developed. So, don't buy anything in the store right now, right? Because it might get all fucked up. We're trying to fix this shit because we're trying to get it integrated with the new app that's coming out. And it'll be good. Anyway, video's crisp. Notice I'm not red tonight. You guys notice that? I'm not red. I don't know why it was like that before, but we're good. We're good. Okay. So you can click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, pay whatever you want, write whatever you want. I'll read it out loud to the class as long as it's not like a freaking paragraph. Can't do that. And as long as it's not something that would like get me violated on order, like please don't write turtle chats that are like addressed to Jennifer McCabe because I can't read those because they'll be like, oh, see, he's talking to Jennifer McCabe. That's direct contact. You can't do that, I'm actually very red, people are saying. Okay, well, we can fix that. Anyway, let me change this color here. Sometimes this fixes it if I go with that one. But now it's all fucked up. It's a little better. Settings, virtual background. Let's do this. Nope, then I'm disappearing. There we go. That's improvement right there. Way better. Okay, cool. I can change the color on the little ring light. So Yeah, I don't want to be like McDonough. Don't want to be like McDonough too much. All right, cool. So anyway, let me start the and I got a lot of thoughts on everything tonight, so it's going to be a long one. That's what she said. But and how about the Celtics, by the way? You guys want fucking great to be back. I haven't really talked much about the Celtics after those first two losses. I mean, how do you blow 20-point leads in the third quarter twice? And it's like they went up by 20 today. It's like, well, that's not going to be enough. We got to be up by 30 on this goddamn team. So, you know, we did. They listened to me. We went up by 31 at one point. We were good. So, you know, it's funny because we were still the favorites to win the series despite being down 2-0. So I'm seeing all these idiots, these New York fans, acting like they've won anything, like ever. Like in my lifetime, the Knicks have been nothing but a joke. Nothing. Like I would all like, I thought that I would like to see the Knicks win sometime because they never win. It's not like the Lakers or something like that, where it's like, oh, the fucking Lakers again. You know, great. You know, it's like the Knicks are a joke. And so, and then I see how they act when they win for the first time. And it's like, oh yeah, I don't want you guys ever to win. It's like the Cowboys. Like the Cowboys like have sucked for 30 years. And every time they get decently good, their fans are like, oh yeah, we're fucking unbelievable. We're gonna fuck everyone. Bro, you're the Cowboys. You got to be humble. You know, you got to be a little humble with your teams. Some of these teams are humble. You know, they understand that like this doesn't happen. Like we're not very good all the time, you know? Like, I don't know. My volume's too low. Oh, well. All right, cool. So anyway, let me read some turtle chats. I got a lot of thoughts tonight. Today's May 7th, right? Or no, it's past May 7th. It's May 10th. Cool. Okay. Bukkaki's Dictionary sends $10 and goes, say it with me. If you think John O'Keefe was hit by a car, you're fucking retarded. Free Karen Reed and free Turtle Boy. That's all it comes down to. That's all it comes down to. Like, what world are we living in? I'm so sick of this shit about even debating it. Motherfucker, I don't even need ARCA. I don't need anything. I just look at the autopsy photos. I'm like, yeah, you know how I know that guy wasn't hit by a car? Because I'm not fucking retarded, which you literally have to be to think John O'Keefe got hit by a car. Fucking retarded. There's no other way around it. No other way around it. And everybody thinks that. By the way, TikTok, I was never into TikTok before. I go on a TikTok now, and it's just all Karen Reed. Like there's no anti-Karen Reed channels. There's like one or two. They don't come up on my algorithm. I don't know about you guys. I go on TikTok, and it's like, oh, even Billy Tibbet. You go on TikTok right now. Watch what happens. Let's go.
More stuff has come out behind the scenes.
Okay.
Calling out.
A retired DEA agent reported on this channel that the nephew was a
okay, so Karen.
So Jen McCabe testified yesterday that after she hung up with 911, she tried to call her
Karen Reed
twice, but that she didn't answer. Now the call records show.
Like, it's just crazy. 802 comments. 802 comments.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's.
I never should have.
If you're running LinkedIn,
You instructed your subordinate, Michael Proctor.
It's like 723 comments.
Okay. Here's why home equity.
If Andy Bev is late for court on Monday, here's your proof why.
Okay. Oh, the ice rate.
Starting in.
I have a real.
Anyway, I don't know how the algorithm works, but whenever I first sign on to TikTok now, it just feeds me Karen Reed content. And I feel like it wasn't like this for the first trial. It's everywhere, dude. And that's actually really important for it to be all over TikTok, because that's where younger people are. And like the culture is, you know, like hip shit, you know, trendy shit that happens on TikTok. And, it's just good. Like, that means that younger people are getting into it, and it's overwhelmingly pro Karen Reed. Overwhelmingly. And I see some people saying I did that. yeah, I guess I got this whole thing started, but like it's taken on a life of its own. Like I don't know who these TikTokers. I don't know who these people are, but they're just like so over, like, and I'm seeing more and more people say that I found this on the documentary, or I found this on, I watched the first trial, or Emily Baker, or some shit like that. Like there's a million other ways that you could have found out about Karen Reed. Now I definitely got the whole thing started. I'm not trying to like brag or anything like that. Like it's just a fact. Like no one was paying attention to this shit. And then I got it all started. And now it's really taken on a life of its own. There's just limitless content out there for Karen Reed. And the vast, vast, vast majority of it is pro Karen Reed. The only place where you'll see antis at all kind of assembling is Twitter. And even then it just feels fake. Like it's like they're all fake names, and it's like nobody's from around here. And that's the other thing I've noticed too. It's like less and less people are from Massachusetts that are following this story. Less and less people. So, and this trial, honestly, this trial is not as entertaining either. That's the crazier part. Like there's no Colin Albert. Like I tweeted this out the other day and it's true. There's going to be in this trial, as of right now, unless Hank Brennan changes his mind, no, the following people will not be testifying. Michael Proctor, Brian Tully, Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, Colin Albert, Chris Albert, Julie Albert, Nicole Albert, Trooper Paul, Irene Scordi-Bello, all of them not testifying. The medical examiner. None of them are going to testify. How crazy is that? And honestly, I was thinking about it too. I might have told Will this. It's like, do they understand that this is actually like, how's the last trial? One of the strongest things they had going for them was they had like 10, I don't even know how many witnesses they had, like 9 or 10 witnesses who all testified that John O'Keefe did not go inside the house. So people who were inside the house who testified that John O'Keefe didn't go in there. How many they got now? One. They have exactly one person who has testified that John O'Keefe did not come inside the house. Jennifer McKee. That's it. And she's got no credibility. Like she destroyed her own credibility on the stand. I think Brian Albert was probably the best witness who testified. You know what I mean? As far as like keeping a straight face and, kind of fooling the jury a little bit. He was good at that. And like, nobody thinks that like the gay autistic Brian Albert Jr. is, nobody thinks he's in on it. Like nobody think he would lie. And so it's like, it's hard to, the Caitlin Albert's lying. All these people are lying. That's a tough sell. Oh, I apologize. Sarah Levinson also said he wasn't us. Why the fuck did they call Sarah Levinson? That's bizarre, huh? That they would call her, but not Julie Nagel, who claims she saw a black blob. I don't know. Maybe they thought that she would be easier to, kind of tear apart, if you will. I don't know. Oh, Matt McCabe's another one. I'm told that they might not be calling him, which is wild. Bagel. Like, I don't know. It's not set in stone that these people aren't testifying. It's interesting. You didn't call Ricky D'Antano. He called the two other people that were in the truck, but not Ricky. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, so I would like to get a defense attorney from Massachusetts that come on sometime and talk about this, because I'd like to hear about the actual. I've heard a lot of different things about this, about the actual legal ramifications of not calling these witnesses and what it means for the defense when they call them. Like, can they, are you limited on what you can ask? And I know I've heard it's harder. So like, specifically though, like what can't they do? Can they talk about, if they bring Michael Proctor up, you want him to talk about all his freaking text messages, right? Come on, you got to talk about those. But I feel like we got a lot more to go with Bukhenik. We haven't even gotten to the Sallyport video. You know what else we have to get to too with him is the Ford Edge. We have to talk about that. Why they didn't, because that's the theme, right? Is that you guys didn't follow up on any leads. And that's perfect, because Lucky Loughran They didn't interview him until August of 2023, 2 days after I wrote an article where I interviewed Lucky. That was a pretty big article. Canton Cover Up Part 93, my interview with Lucky Locker and the plow driver. And that was huge, right? Because it's like, whoa, Turtle Boy found the plow driver. Fuck, we can't hide him anymore. And they went and interviewed him, and he told them that a Ford Edge was parked right in front of the house at 3:00. And if you recall at the last trial, and who were the ones who interviewed Lucky? Bukhenik and Proctor. So they're hiding Proctor. Ask Bukhenik about it, right? And ask Bukhenik, why didn't you follow up on that lead? Why? Why didn't you look into who's driving the Ford Edge? And Tully at the last trial testified about it. I don't know why they're not calling Tully. They should have benched Bukhenik and called Tully. Tully is a much better witness than Bukhenik. He is a fantastic liar. He keeps a straight face. That guy was just up there keeping a straight face, acting all professional with his little cone head there. Meanwhile, Yuri's got this whole thing going on. Just with the cuffs. Like, dude, who are you fooling? Who are you fooling? He's like evasive and it's just so intentional. Whereas I feel like Tully was just a lot more matter of fact. And I don't know. They could have done all this through Tully and not Bukhenik. I don't understand, because he's ultimately their boss too, right? So like, I don't get it. I don't even know why they call Bukhenik. So I don't know. I think that's a mistake. As far as like Higgins, like there's a reason they had, if Karen Reed's team didn't read those messages, Hank was going to have Bukhenik read them. So they had to kind of beat him to it. At least that's what I've heard through the grapevine. And those messages, when they were reading, I mean, we'll talk about that today when we get into the whole thing today. But I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing though, and I want to be very clear about this, right? I am much more optimistic about the outcome of this trial than I was 3 days ago. I am. 3 days ago, we were looking at this like it's like Jen McCabe. If she's so good at manipulating people, if she can fool anyone on that jury, we're in trouble, right? That's a problem because we know she's lying, but whatever. And I'm just like, well, we could have, I think of the Ronnie, the juror interview. And I'm like, I was just worse. I've always said worst case scenario would be, mistrial. I've long thought, I put it at 50% mistrial, 45% acquittal, 5% conviction. That's what I had it at. Now, I just don't think a conviction is possible. No fucking way. And I think a mistrial, the odds of that have gone way down. Way down. Based on everything that's happened. In that, like, Bukhenik was the worst witness ever. And they're not done with him. They're not done with him. And they haven't done their case in chief. They haven't called their witnesses. We don't have this new medical examiner who's going to say he didn't die from hypothermia. We don't have ARCA, Dr. Marie Russell, Garrett Wing. Like, are you kidding me? Imagine we had Michael Easter. Oh my God. But anyway, so thanks for that, Turtle Chat. Next up, Sarah sends, let's see, how much does Sarah send here? $25 and goes, "Hi, doctor. Great work on direct." Yuri states, "We always want to get multiple eyewitnesses accounts as people see different things." Yeah, right. On Cross, nah, Ryan Nagel's account was fine. We didn't need to interview Heather or Ricky. What a loser. Do you find it curious that the McAlberts left Julie and Chris off of the text chain? Colin was in the house. That they left them off the text chain. That is a really specific text chain that they had going on, because Chris and Julie were not in the house. But wouldn't they want to be kept up to date with it? Like, what? That's a good question. All I know, I think what needs to be emphasized about those texts that I don't think the lawyers said was, where are all the text messages where they're like sad for John O'Keefe? Did I miss those? Because all I hear all the time is how like our good friend is dead and we're so sad about this and shock and horror. And I don't see any messages in there about like what day is the wake? What day is the funeral? Can we do a meal train for his kids? Can we set up a GoFundMe? Like, what are they going to do? Have you talked to Peggy today? How's she doing? And like, you would think that you would even see stuff about Karen Reed in there, but like, I would think that normal human beings in that case would be like, anyone know? Like, if I was me and somebody like my friend was accidentally hit because they thought it was an accident, right? My friend was accidentally hit by his girlfriend, who I'm familiar with. We're not friends or anything like that, but she seemed nice. We had a nice conversation, whatever, and she seemed okay. If that happened to me, and my friend was accidentally killed by his girlfriend, and the next morning she was freaking out about it, suicidal, crying, all this shit at the scene, I would be like, in those text messages, I would say something like, does anybody know how Karen's doing? I feel so bad for her. This has to be horror. This has to be a nightmare for her. Jesus Christ. Has anybody talked to her? You know, is she okay? How's her family doing? Like, that would be like normal, humane thing to say in a text message like that. If you thought it was an accident, if you actually thought that she accidentally hit him and she was sorry about it, that's what you would say. You don't see any messages in there about the tragedy that just unfolded. All you hear about is like, tell him the guy never came in the house. Oh, she better plea. Like, what the fuck? Those text messages are cold. The more you think about it, and I don't think that was pointed out enough, that those text messages, because they have all Jen's texts. I would have asked her, are there any text messages where you talk about like taking care of his kids? Because that's one thing that normal people would do, is like, because the kids are orphans now. And it's like, does anybody know how Kaylee's doing? Does anybody know how Patrick's doing? I'm sure they're struggling. You know, is there anything that the kids can do at school? Something like that. You know, in fairness, we didn't see all the texts. I see someone say that, and that's true. But I would ask her about that. I mean, I bet you those texts don't exist. I bet you they don't exist. Not in that group chat, at least. Not in that group chat. Anyway, back to this. There might have been the ones with Carrie, but like, even with Carrie, it's just like, get your story straight. Get your story straight, Carrie. You know, that's all she was to them. All right, next up. Where's Cora sends $25 and says, and this is one of those examples of, we cannot have these long ass paragraphs. It's got to be like 4 lines. I'll read as much of this as I can. AJ's cross of Bukkake has been a masterpiece. I wish they had a camera on Hank to see the look on his face as he's getting cucked. Hank's had to sit there quietly watching AJ methodically fuck his case for the past day and a half during his own case in chief. And AJ's not even close to being done. Wait until the defense brings up the Sallyport video. Proctor's lying in reports about the time they seized the Lexus, etc. Exactly. Where's Cora? Thank you. The Albert family rock sends $10. Goes, whatever happened to poor Bao, who got locked up? He got out for the heinous crime of standing on a dead-end sidewalk. Last I heard, they were holding him to determine competency, but that was a few weeks ago. Free Bao. Yeah, they did let him out. I believe Larry Foreman has taken up his cause, so that's good to see. But, you know, by the way, pretty big win for the buffer zone thing. The buffer zone still exists, but Mark Randazza brought it to federal court in front of a judge and said, we want you to issue an injunction saying that this free speech zone, this buffer zone, is unconstitutional. Well, what ended up happening? The judge said, nah, just ignored it. Nah, we're not doing anything with that. And they appealed it to the First Circuit Court of Appeals. And they said to the federal judge, they kicked it back down to him and said, you can, like, they're willing to come up with the remedy here. You can work with them to narrowly tailor her order. It also said that Judge Kearney can also do this. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Like, you can also do this. And what they said there specifically was that that the protesters agree to not be loud, which is fine because we were never loud to begin with. That was all a lie. He also has an affidavit from another juror who was on record swearing under oath that the other juror was lying when he said that he could hear protesters outside, that was a lie, because that was their big thing. It's like that's why the buffer zone was extended. So that was based on a lie. So we have another juror who's now on record signing an affidavit saying that never happened. And you're curbing our First Amendment rights based on this guy's lie. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see what happens. So now basically the lower court judge, but this could get resolved after the trial's over, which would be like, what the fuck? But still, you want to get that W, like fuck you, Auntie Bev kind of thing, you know? All right, next up. So thank you from Mark Randazza for all your hard work with that. $10 from the Albert Family Rock sends $10 and goes, I liked your interview with Uncivil Law. Yeah, it was a good interview. By the way, Kurt has good coverage of the First Circuit decision on the buffer zone. Basically, it goes back to the district court for reconsideration about silent, non-disruptive demonstrators unless Kearney amends the order to require mens rea. Right. Because that's the thing. If their whole thing was, well, we don't want you guys to disrupt the proceedings and be loud. Deal. Not a problem. We just want to be able to exist in the buffer zone. And like what's going on down there is like some Nazi shit. Like you're afraid to even walk by with a thing. They made Erica Walsh the other day, like take her hoodie off. She was walking around in a fucking bra because her fucking shirt underneath it was also a Turtle Boy shirt or some shit like that. Like, are you kidding me? But yeah, so I had a good time on Kurt. Obviously, I've called him out before when he said that I should be in jail. But I feel like he misunderstood me, and I feel like he gets me now. So I thought it was a good interview I had with him. So go check that out if you haven't seen it. Next up, Patricia sends $7 and goes, Bukhenik is way worse of a witness than even Proctor, and I love every second of it. I agree. At least Proctor got up there and attempted to apologize for everything he said wrong. Not to Karen Reed, he didn't apologize, but he got up there and was like, again, unprofessional, this and that. Bukhenik is just like, nah, I'm fucking, everything we do is perfect. Everything we do is perfect. So there's that. Next up, the No Lip Squad sends $10 and goes, Friday was amazing. The end is near. Thanks for shining a light on this corruption. Free Karen Reed and free Turtle Boy. Well, thank you, No Lip Squad. Emily sends $5 and goes, was John DePetro shaking like a leaf because you showed him the Intimidator? No, I didn't even show him the Intimidator. Have you guys seen this? I mean, I assume a lot of you guys have seen this. We got to go watch this if we haven't seen it already. Come on, let's go check it out. Hold on. This is not the Pink Panther version. So John DePetro is this Rhode Island former radio host who got fired for he was involved in a rating scandal in which he basically used his wife to and his family to like listen to his radio show to boost up the ratings on it. And he got busted and he was fired for it. And then he blamed his wife. So that's John DePetro. And he basically is on his own now. I think he's independent. I don't even think he works for anyone. But I don't know how he makes money or whatever. But, you know, either way, I used to not mind him because I thought he was kind of funny. And he's like a troll, kind of like he, you know, he gets up in people's faces and asks them questions, shit that I do and was charged with witness intimidation for. So I thought we would be kindred spirits on this. But he had Wendy Murphy on his show, I guess you'd call it, in like August of 2023. And that was the end of that. As soon as he had Wendy on, that was the end of that. And I go, you should debate me about this. And he just wouldn't have me on. So anyway, he trolls Karen Reed outside of court and he yells shit at her. And he yelled this at her in mid-April.
Karen, was OJ framed? Was OJ framed, Karen? Was there blood in the Bronco? What other killers are you supporting?
Look at this woman. She's like, what the fuck? Okay. So, that's what he does. So fair game, right? He's shouting questions at Karen Reed, which is witness intimidation because she's a potential witness in her own case, but whatever. He's not a witness. So I'm definitely allowed to ask him questions, right? This is what happened. So I walk into the registry of deeds and I see him in the corner there. He stands in the corner. And so I go over and I attempt to ask him questions on film like he asked Karen Reed questions. And this is what happens.
What do you do? John, why do you lie every day?
I'm live right now.
But why do you lie every day? You go in there and you lie. We read your tweets. You're misrepresenting what's happening there. No, you're lying. You're lying, John. How much are they paying you to lie?
Now, hold on. Listen, Turtle.
Listen, Turtle. Look at this guy. He's like, you can't interrupt him. Apparently he was live. Real serious stuff.
Do I have to you're not supposed to be doing this. This is supposed to be the buffer zone. You're not supposed to be doing this.
Doing what?
And on top of it,
you don't like when people ask questions?
Right now.
You ask Karen Reed questions.
I'm live read right now.
But so you're allowed to ask questions, but I'm not?
Yeah, but she's not broadcasting and I am. So
no, I'm broadcasting.
Trooper. This individual
what a bitch. He went and got the cop. He called the cops on me because and this is what I mean. Normally I would be like, I would tell the troopers yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I have a First Amendment right to be here. You can arrest me if you want, I guess, but I have a right to be here and I'm not doing anything illegal. But now it's I understand how these people roll and I'm on bail and I can't take that risk. So the second cops come, I got to leave. I can't take that risk, period.
Along instead of interrupting. So you can check that. It's actually a policy that you're not supposed to interrupt a broadcast. So, all right, you can keep filming me like that. So, with your glasses. So, why don't you go tell them that you want them and their families to burn to death in their homes? Okay, that is certainly the words of a domestic terrorist.
I don't want that.
Yes, you do want that.
No, not at all.
Now, listen, I've asked you 4 times, and you can look it up. You're not supposed to interrupt a broadcast. You go over there and do that. I'm live right now, right? And he is coming over and interrupting broadcast. And I'm actually on the radio, and there's a policy that you're not supposed to.
There's a policy? I'm on the radio? He's on YouTube. He had 200 people listen. He's on YouTube. That's it. And Twitter. He's not on the radio. And he's like, this is an FEC thing. You know how many times people jump behind some guy and yell, fuck him right in the pussy or some shit? Or hey, hi, mom. That's, it's against the law to interrupt this is an SEC regulation. Well, I'm not governed by that. I don't even know what the fuck that means. But yeah, this guy is, let's see. Policy.
Interrupt someone doing a broadcast like this. So could you ask him to move along? What is your point of being?
Well, I was just trying to ask him a question.
So what is your point of being here? It's the correct answer to that, what I would say if I was not out on bail, the point of me being here is I'm a free person living in a free country and I will do whatever the fuck I want to do. I'm exercising my freedoms. Why? Oh, because I feel like it. And you don't get to ask why. That's not how freedom works. I don't have to explain why I'm being free. I just am. Now, what these cops should have said to him was, okay, guys, you're 2 grown-ass men. You both have cameras. Knock yourselves out. Even Grant doesn't cry about this shit. Knock yourselves out. Have whatever. Go. I don't know what you want me to say, John. He can move somewhere else. You know, it's what he can do. And again, I'm doing this because I'm asking him a fucking question. All this, he loses his mind, and he does lie every day.
He's interrupting. You can wait till I'm done at 2 o'clock. You can wait till I'm done at 2 o'clock.
Am I not allowed to ask him a question?
No.
I mean, I'm trying to start it.
Yes, you are trying to start something. As he's filming.
Well, I'm not the one that got.
You're filming too.
We don't want to make a big deal.
I definitely don't want to make a big deal.
You are trying to make a big deal.
We don't want to make a big deal of this, he says. Talk to this guy. He's the one calling the police. I'm not the one calling the police. You don't want to make a big deal out of this, then don't make a big deal out of it. See you later. Like, that's it. That's it. We don't want to make a big deal out of this. I guess you do.
Okay, John. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I'll get going. But I mean, what the heck, John? I mean, I'm just asking a question.
Why don't you go ask when someone's doing a live broadcast?
Because he asked Karen Reed.
Wait till he's all done.
He asked her about OJ. Remember, you asked her about OJ. You go, was OJ framed?
Yes.
So he can ask questions to Karen Reed, but I can't ask questions to.
Oh, she wasn't broadcasting.
I'll talk to you at 2 o'clock. We don't want to make a big deal. Go ask when someone.
Well, what law says that I can't ask questions to him?
She wasn't broadcasting, the sacred broadcast. So if Karen Reed was doing a live show, that he wouldn't have asked her questions. Okay, John. Okay, buddy.
Wasn't broadcasting. What part of that? I know that all your fans are down there.
Well, what law says that I can't?
Yeah, remember that? Yeah.
I can't ask a journalist. Okay, John. If you say so. Okay.
I want to try.
Oh, this is his angle.
We totally.
Here we go.
Ship. I want to just.
Oh, there he is.
Totally just check.
I'm like, oh, this is my
One
big
more
chance.
thing, and I appreciate everyone because it was a very significant.
Oh, there it is. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get. I had the pink glasses on.
Let me just try this. It was a very significant day in the Karen Reed. Let me just see if this.
Yeah, what a broadcast this is. God forbid this gets interrupted.
Let me see. Try this.
Why
I'm live right now.
Why you lying? You're misrepresenting what's happening. No, you're lying. You're lying, John. How much are they paying you to lie?
Hold on. Listen, Turtle. All right.
Listen, Turtle.
Doing what? You don't like when people ask questions? You ask Karen Reed questions.
I'm live read right now.
So you're allowed to ask questions, but I'm not.
Yeah, she's not broadcasting, and I am. So.
No, I'm broadcasting.
Trooper. Officer. You can just.
I can't talk to you?
No, not when I'm broadcasting.
Okay. Wait, why can't I do that? Why can't I do that?
There is a provision where you're not supposed to interrupt someone who's over broadcast.
Who said
As a
that?
matter of fact, you know, it's an FCC policy. So actually, you're violating FCC policy. Officer, you just
Violating
actually
FCC
move along instead of
policy.
interrupting. So you can check that. It's actually a policy that you're not supposed to interrupt the broadcast. So, all right, you can keep filming me like that. So with your glasses. So why don't you go
With
tell
your
them you want them
glasses.
and their families to burn to death in their homes? Okay, that is certainly the words of a domestic terrorist.
I don't want that.
Yes, you do want that. So, no, listen, I've asked you 4 times, and you can look it up. You're not supposed to interrupt broadcast. You go over there and do that. I'm live right now, right? And he is coming over and interrupting broadcast. And I'm actually on the radio, and there's a policy that you're not supposed to interrupt someone doing a broadcast like this. So could you ask him to move along?
Well, I was just trying to ask him a question.
No, he's interrupting. You can wait till I'm done at 2 o'clock. You can wait till I'm done at 2 o'clock.
Am I not allowed to ask a question?
No,
I'm not trying to start.
Interrupt. Yes, you are trying to start something.
I'm not going to.
If you want to talk to me, I'll talk to you at 2 o'clock.
I definitely want to make it.
You are trying to make it.
Well, okay,
Why don't you just let me do my
yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I'll get going. But I mean, what the heck?
Is it?
Why don't you go ask when someone's doing a live broadcast? You can interrupt.
He asked her about getting coming to court. He asked her
Oh, yeah.
about OJ. Remember you asked her about OJ? Go with OJ frame?
Yes.
So you can ask questions to the county.
She wasn't broadcasting. She wasn't broadcasting. What part of that? I know that all your fans are on there.
Well, what law says that I can't?
It is a violation. It is. That's what it is for.
See what? Yeah.
I don't want to talk. He's a domestic terrorist. All right, folks. Now this is definitely a different type of broadcast. You want to talk to me at 2 o'clock? All right, we'll just do our thing. All right, now, folks. That is.
Yeah. He's a domestic terrorist. He's a domestic terrorist. Anyway, that's I mean, that's not the last time I'm going to see John DePetro, and that's not the last question I'm going to have for him. Let's just put it that way. I have many more questions for John DePetro. I hope he understands that. So he's not a witness. He can't hide behind the witness intimidation statute. The buffer zone is, and by the way, it exists during court hours. Court wasn't in session between 1 and 2. Sorry. And by the way, John, I know you're watching, or you're probably going to see this. I just want to let you know, John. So John goes live a lot in like Rhode Island, wherever he's around there. He like follows wherever black people are. Basically, John DePetro is there trying to make him look bad. Like that's kind of his shtick. Is he goes to like, Providence and Central Falls and Pawtucket and finds like, black and brown people behaving badly and films it for content. That is his shtick. Okay. So my plan is, I just want to let John know that, because I see when you're live, John. I'm good wherever you go. If you go live in Providence, I'll be there in an hour. Okay. I'll be there in 1 hour, and I'm going to troll you there too. I'm going to show up and I'm going to interrupt your broadcast. Your broadcasts from now on, John, they're no longer your broadcasts. They're my broadcasts. I'm going live. Because I was broadcasting too. I can broadcast too. And if he tries to stop me, that's an FCC violation, because it's a broadcast. You can't stop my broadcast. You have to answer my questions. So I'm just going to say that, dude. John, you have no fucking clue, bro. We're going to have so much fun with this, John. We're going to have so much fun with this. The best way to handle that, John, FYI, would have been just kind of laughing it off. Like, oh, okay, Turtle. Yeah. Or just, get into Grant, at least gets into it with me a little bit. Like, you're just like a less, like, you smell a little better than Grant, but you're barely better dressed than him. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Next up, Mo Sullivan sends $5 and goes, I love you, Turtle Boy. I love you too, Mo. Thank you. Very kind of you. After that, we just cracked 10,000 viewers. Nice to see. Yuri's Bullshit sends $10, goes, Dr. Daddy, if you had to put yourself in the position of a juror who never heard about this case before, how do you honestly think you'd be leaning right now? I'm not guilty, man. I've seen nothing so far to convince me that Karen Reed ran John O'Keefe over with a car. What have they done? Okay, I hit him. Doesn't matter, even if she did say it. But it appears as if she didn't say it, because Timothy Nuttall and Jennifer Cabe both got destroyed on that one. The drinking, I think they got her on that one. I think they got her on drinking and driving. I would believe beyond a reasonable doubt that she was drinking and driving, mostly based on the clip from the show. Which, by the way, can we talk about this for a minute? Because that's all Hank has, is these clips from the show. And, my thoughts on that. I think it was a mistake to say this shit, but what's done is done. I'm wondering, if I'm the defense, you know what I would file a motion to do? I want to show start to finish the entire documentary. The entire fucking documentary. I want to show it. Start to finish. Fine. You want to play clip? You want to play the doc? Okay. We can play the doc. Let's play the whole doc. Everything on there. Complete with lawyer commentary. You like Karen Reed's commentary? Let's hear from the lawyer commentary. Can we do that? I mean, can they do that? It's like, fuck it. Why do we get to, okay, so it's fair game to play clips from the doc. Why can't we play the whole fucking thing? Why not? Play the whole fucking thing, the entire thing, because most people, when they watch that documentary, even though it's biased against Karen Reed and it kind of makes her look like not like the kind of person that you want to be best friends with, I think that's the reaction that a lot of people have gotten, that like, yeah, she talks too much and she's annoying. Like, some people have said that. I'm not saying that's how she came across to me. That's a thing a lot of people have said. They go, yeah, she's talks a lot and this and that, but it's just some of the things she says are weird and like insensitive a little bit. But it's pretty obvious she didn't do it. Also, like, that's the worst thing. Like, if you could watch that, that's like the worst case scenario you have on that. Like, 227 is all on there. Like, everything's on there heavily. So I think they should just play the whole friggin' thing. Yeah, she does come across as honest, almost too honest. Like, that's the thing. It's like the comments that get her in trouble on there are the ones about John. It just makes her sound a little bit like insensitive towards his death, which I know, because I know Karen Reed and I've had many conversations with her, that she has had no time to grieve, because from the moment that John died, she's had to fight for her life. So she didn't get to go to Like, she doesn't have the luxury of these people to like grieve about it, you know? And she didn't take a PR class before doing this. You know, she didn't do any of that. Yeah, that's true, Lindsay. Then the jury would see all the support she has and all the people outside court. Totally. So, yeah, she's fighting now. She'll grieve later. Exactly. So I think they should play the whole thing. That's my thoughts on that. All right, next up. Yuri's bullshit. No, I already read that one. No, I read that one. Tatiana sends $25 and goes, hello from Alaska. Oh, nice. I've been to Alaska once. Thank you. Ronnie sends $5 and goes, you are my favorite. Well, thank you, Ronnie. I like you too. Trish sends $5, goes, welcome, new turtle rider, Dean. Welcome aboard, sir. Yuri's dumb haircut says, on this marathon cross of Bukkake, Alan Jackson is a warrior, working hard to pull every answer out of that arrogant fuck. It was a pleasure to watch. We're going to get to that for sure. Joe Flip Ahead, very generous tonight. Joe Flip Ahead, and very handsome too. The ladies love him. And he sends $100 and he goes, nope, my objection is retarded. Yes, she is. Can we just talk about her for a minute? I can't stand her. Ratchet Madness is also coming soon. And I've got, who do you guys think are the 4 1 seeds in Ratchet Madness this year? Who would you think are the 1 seeds? Although Bukkake might have to move up. Right now, I got Bukkake right now. He's not a 1 seed right now. I might have to bring him up a couple notches. All right. So the reigning champion from last year was Jen McCabe. It was her against Proctor in the finals. I think last year the 1 seeds were Jen McCabe, Colin Albert, Michael Proctor, and Brian Albert. I think those were the 1 seeds. Brian Albert might have been a 2. I'm not entirely sure, but Colin was definitely up there. I'll tell you, here's my 1 seeds. That means just the most ratchet people involved in this case. I got Jen McCabe, Michael Proctor again, Spanky, who wasn't in the Ratchet Madness last year, and Krusty. Those I think are the 1 seeds. I think those got to be the 1 seeds. Those are like the 4 most ratchet people involved in this whole shit. I have Auntie Bev right now. She's sitting at a 3 seed. I see there. I got Bukkake as a 4 seed. He might have to move up. It's tough this year. It's tough. I got a whole bunch of people that didn't make the cut. I had a whole list of people. I'm going to announce Ratchet Madness, the bracket this week for sure. But yeah, Plevin. Oh, of course, Plevin's on there. All right, cool. Next up. So thank you. Oh, we were looking at TikTok. Hold on. Let me note my objection. I gotta, cause she's on it. She's definitely on it. She's so ratchet, this chick. Note my objection is this obnoxious woman on TikTok who somehow is addicted to the sound of her own voice. Her highly exaggerated Boston accent that she just doesn't shut up, and she talks a mile a minute, and she thinks she's so smart, but yet there's this fucking culture on TikTok. That's why I don't do it. Where like, oh my God, you make the law so understandable. And oh, wow, I don't really agree with you on the Karen Reed thing, but you do such a good job of breaking it down. No, she doesn't. She's fucking retarded. She doesn't know shit. I don't even think she has any clients. I don't even know if she does. Like, how does she have time for this shit all day? Like, imagine ever trusting this woman. Like, this woman is a gutter Muppet deluxe. She is a recovering addict. God bless her. But who makes these TikToks all day. And like, I think she got clean, went to law school, but her dad owns a law firm. And so she works at her daddy's law firm. And I don't even know if she has clients. Like, I don't know what she does all day. But anyway,
when you first were asked to begin work on this case in May of 2000, because we're just like normal moms. We're not used to this.
Not everyone. The band didn't go to the Fairview. Phone calls being made and received would show those.
How hard was the ground?
Harder than a
With
rock.
the court's permission, I'd like to ask the witness to read the text messages that he was provided by Brian Higgins.
You tried those Smirnoff screwdrivers, question mark, a Bitmoji showing teeth.
Sergeant Bukhenik, you do not have to describe the emojis. You don't have to say anything about what the pictures are, and you don't have to say the punctuation.
Do you want me to start at the beginning or
No. Let's just go. Let's just start where.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Start where. Could please.
Are you listening? I'm sorry.
All right, anyway. Karen Reed and John O'Keefe.
The actual audacity.
Oh, this one. Okay.
So they got rid of it.
Anyway,
It's like you get rid of a car, right?
let me find the TikTok I'm looking for. Usually note my objection just pops up for some reason. Let's see. Note.
My take on the Karen Reed trial as a criminal defense attorney is that this case has already been won or.
All right. Oh, here she is.
Hi, good morning. Karen Reed, trial day 11. No whiteboard last night. Catherine was too tired. And in honor of
Oh
my
my
favorite
God.
number, the 11th, I was born on the 11th, 1111. Good vibes all around. For $11 a month, you can subscribe to my premium access on Substack, where tomorrow morning at 8 to 9 a.m., you'll get all your questions answered. Put them here in this comment section, or you go over to Substack. There'll be a specific thread. If you missed that, it'll be
Oh my God.
persuasive one way or the other. But we had Jessica Hyde come on. From the Commonwealth's perspective, the goal of Jessica Hyde is to basically
Imagine being married to this woman and just listening to her all day. She makes her husband do TikToks with her sometimes, and he looks miserable. Like, poor guy. My heart breaks for him.
confirm Ian Whiffin's opinion that the 227 Google search did not happen at 227, that's when the tab was open, that it in fact happened at 623 and 624. So I thought she did really well on.
First of all, fuck that shit. Of course, the Google search happened, by the way. My thoughts on that real quick, and I've never got an explanation for this, is so their whole thing is that she did a search at 227 using a Safari tab for Ozone basketball. And then she didn't X that tab out, right? And then at 623, she searches again for How Long to Die in Cold on the same tab. And because she used the same tab, somehow that made that come up twice at 624 and 227. Why did it come up twice? And more importantly, the first time she opened the tab, she didn't search for How Long to Die in Cold at 623. She spelt it wrong. She spelt like Hoss, long, tied, dicked, and kicked or something like that. Like she fucked it up. And that's the same. So if that's your argument, right, then the 227 search should be what she did at 623, not 624. Correct? Isn't that what they're saying? So so whatever you Google at 623 also comes up at 227? What? So if I have this straight, I don't X out of Safari tabs. I don't know about you people. I often use the same tab and I just do a different search on it. So this tab I have here, it's probably been up for months. So it's like, every time I search something on here, it reverts to the fucking first search I did 3 months ago. What? It's just fucking retarded. It's fucking stupid. And I don't need some fake white Muslim lady, fucking Valley Girl Muslim. What could we talk about that for a second with the hair? I know we're not supposed to talk about the fucking. I did my best. I didn't make fun of her. I didn't ask where Jessica Hyde was on 9/11. I didn't ask if she worships a cow. I didn't do any of that shit. I was really mature about it. Okay? But how the fuck am I supposed to take that woman seriously looking like that shit? Seriously. Like 7 or 8 years ago, she was like that lady, who was the white lady a few years ago, pretended to be black. It was like she was head of the NAACP or some shit in her like Spokane, Washington. I forget. Rachel Dolezal. Like you look back at the Rachel Dolezal old picture. That's the old Jessica Hyde pictures remind me of the old Rachel Dolezal ones. Like you didn't have that thing in your hair. That's new. What are you doing? Like what is happening with that thing? No, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm sorry. I can't take you seriously with that fucking thing. And then you're addicted to the sound of your own voice. And it turns out that a court in Maryland told you to get the fuck out of here. So like what if she has alopecia, okay, I apologize. If she's like, she's goddamn, Ayanna Presley or some shit, I stand corrected. Right. Honestly, if I were in that, I would go full Ayanna Presley if I were her. But I understand people or whatever, but it seems like she has hair under there. I don't know. I don't think it's because of that. It gets fucking ridiculous. It looks ridiculous. I'm sorry. It just does. And I can't take her seriously. That's not why I don't take her seriously, because it's fucking ridiculous, the things that she's saying. All right. So anyway, back to note my objection.
Direct. Honestly, when she first got on, I thought she was going to cry. And I was like,
oh my God, I can't.
What is happening? Like this woman has been ruthlessly attacked online.
Oh my God.
Online yesterday. People, the way they look, the way she talks, what she wears. I mean, it's literally disgusting. This case brings out literally disgusting people.
How is this a grown up? Like this woman's an attorney. Imagine your life was on the line. You were charged with a crime and you're like, I need a real serious attorney to get me out of this. I'm going to hire this woman. What?
And it is what it is. And so when she got on, I was like, is she going to have a panic attack? Is she going to actually testify? Like, is she going to, but she seemed to, once she got in the groove of it, clearly she's somebody who is very smart.
Yeah. Wicked smart. Yeah. Okay. But where is her most recent one? About Yuri, this one. Listen.
Right off the bat, you're not gonna like this. So scroll on. Jackson has Yuri Bukhenik on the stand for so long that I have gone from being one to strangle him to being like, Petty Yuri, get it. He's like, are you listening?
What?
I don't have a memory of saying it's long that I have gone from being one to strangle him to being like, Petty Yuri, get it. He's like,
Petty Yuri, get it. Yo, fuck around, find out. Like, dude, you're an adult. I'm embarrassed for you. This is how you talk? You're a fucking attorney? I'm literally embarrassed of your behavior talking like this. Like, how old do you think you are again? Oh my God. This woman is on TV.
He's like, are you listening? I don't have a memory of saying it's.
Oh my God. And then she had yesterday. Was this the one?
Good morning. It's Saturday. I have a bridal shower to go today. We're going to do a little tiny mini class, maybe 2 minutes, see if I can do it, about why the Commonwealth is not going to call Michael Proctor, Brian Higgins, Brian Albert, from my perspective. Obviously, we have not heard this from the Commonwealth themselves, but based on the way the testimony is going in,
my God.
I think that's probably the correct assessment. Hank Brennan needs to prove the elements of the charges against Karen Reed. When you are a prosecutor and you're trying to prove your case, the evaluation you make is, who do I need to prove the elements of the charge? So I'm not even going to go over, second degree murder is
what?
The elements are: one, you either have to have caused the death, you have to have caused the death of John O'Keefe, Karen Reed.
So how does she prove that she caused the death of John O'Keefe? She hasn't done that. So go ahead.
Two, and then you have an intent to either one of these three things: intent to kill, intent to cause grievous bodily harm, or intent to do the act.
How has Hank Brennan, she said that Hank Brennan has proven 4 of these 5 elements, she claims. How has he proven that she has done that? She hasn't, dumbass. God, this woman's fucking stupid.
Putting the foot on the gas and reversing, that a reasonable person would know could cause serious bodily injury or death. Do I think there's any chance of getting a conviction on the murder? No, I don't. So let's go to the manslaughter.
Okay, manslaughter. Okay.
Has to prove, right? And so who does he have to put on the witness stand to be able to prove that? 5 elements to the manslaughter.
Okay, let's see it.
This is the most vulnerable.
Okay.
This is the most vulnerable. In my opinion, he's almost there.
Oh, almost there.
Intoxication, proven. Operation, proven.
Intoxication. I don't know if that's been proven. I mean, it's like I said earlier, I think they probably, her own words, but the lab results did not prove anything. That proved nothing. Nothing. You couldn't even get her on a DUI if you wanted to. That she drove a car, okay.
Public way, proven. Reckless and negligent, proven.
How has reckless and negligent been proven? How has reckless and negligent been proven? Okay.
Because when you're OUI, it's basically per se negligence. The only thing
per
you
se,
have to prove is cause of the death of John O'Keefe. So that's why.
The only thing they have to prove, guys, is that she did it. That's the. Oh yeah, I mean Hank's basically got this in the bag. He's only missing one thing. He just hasn't proved that she actually hit him with the car. Besides that, he's got her right where she wants her, right?
5 elements that need to be proven for manslaughter. If he's already met 4, he's doing them one by one, right? And the last one is going to be all of the physical evidence. So we're going to hear from probably someone from the state police about, the evidence as it came in, the tail light, the pieces in his sweater. Then we're going to hear from Aperture. Then we're going to hear from, I don't know who for the ME or the ME, and then the neurosurgeon about the contractile injury.
She's just not a serious person here because she doesn't talk about at all. She's just so she's rooting for Hank because she's like a Boston girl and like I'm a doc girl and oh yeah, I have a strong accent. Hank's that's why she's rooting for him, is because fuck around, find out around these parts. Hank Brennan's a fucking kick shit. It's so annoying. And she just kisses the Commonwealth's ass because that's what her daddy taught her to do. Is like, a lot of these lawyers are like that. That's why people like Betero and out-of-state attorneys, because they can afford to be honest about it.
Because they say that it could only happen a certain way and not the way that the defense alleges. So think about it this way. Do you need Brian Albert to prove the cause of John O'Keefe's death? No. Do you need Brian?
You need Brian Albert to prove the cause of John O'Keefe's death. It would be nice if someone in that house said that they heard him getting hit by a car. So yeah, and this is what an honest person would say, was that, oh yeah, it's also like bringing up fundamental weaknesses here. You're not like, the defense is going to capitalize on that. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my God.
Higgins to prove the death of John O'Keefe? No. Do you need Michael Proctor to prove it? No. So
you don't need the
what
lead
Brennan
detective.
Basically is doing is saying, hey, if you want to call these people, you want to accuse them of murder, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't need them to prove my case. What happened was the first time we saw so much, I felt like Adam Lally spent the entire case. I mean, everybody was so like, oh, why is he defending the defense case? And now that Brennan's not doing it, people are like, why is he not putting them on? Because he doesn't need them. He doesn't need them. He doesn't need a single Albert in that house. He doesn't need, that goes to the defense there. So theoretically, let them put on their case. Brennan could potentially call people in rebuttal. I mean, it's very, I know that like the vibe online is like Brennan, don't like him. But as I said, people remember from my fuck around and find out video. I said that because he's very meticulous and he's very intelligent, and he is a defense attorney, so he knows how to defend this case and prosecute this case. And I don't know whether he's going to get a conviction or not, but I think he's close.
Oh my God. Like it's just, he's close. No, he's not. He's not close at all. Don't ever listen to that woman. She's a liar. Thank you. Next up, Julie, and we'll get started playing some of the stuff soon. Julie sends $10. Goes, hey, Dr. T, what a week it's been. Can we talk about how the tire and how Bukkenik had to admit that, yes, it did move? We are going to talk about that. It took him a while to admit it. AJ finally got him there. Have a great show. Love a turtle roo. Oh, it's an Australian turtle rider. Nice. Wisconsin farm girl sends $10. Goes, what's the scoop with the court ruling on the buffer zone? I think I addressed that earlier. Thank you, Wisconsin farm gal. Next up, read a few more of these and then we'll get to some of them later. Let's see. There's a bunch of these. Okay. Amanda sends $5, goes, today I drove all the way to 34 Fairview from Stamford, Connecticut. Wow. It's a long trip. And let me tell you, that crime scene is smaller than I imagined, but free Karen Reed, free Turtle Boy. That's what everybody says. That's the first thing everybody says when they go to 34 Fairview Road is, holy shit, that yard is small. You know, Ryan from Ohio sends $25, goes, the bottom of the shoes look dirty in the evidence photos. And I noticed when they are showed in court, no witness has showed the bottom of the shoes to the jury. To the jury seems suspicious. Also, the evidence photos, both shoes are tied in court and the laces are untied. Lastly, can they have witnesses look and say the shoe size into the record? P.S. Fuck you, Hank. McLaughlin's dick is bigger than yours. Okay. Yeah, I'm done with the shoe talk. I can't just go watch The Glare. He will talk about that fucking shoe all night. We're not doing shoe talk here. Thank you. Michael sends $10 and goes, 3 inches of snow, 15 to 20 people on the lawn at 6:30 a.m. No one saw a shoe, a hat, or 47 pieces of taillight. Case dismissed. In a sane world, yes. The empty spot where DePetro's balls are supposed to be sends $10 and goes, Troopa, officer, help me. I'm being questioned by a real journalist. I know. The turtle you know sends $5, goes, is it frowned upon to comment as the turtle you owe when watching Nurse Kim? Keep doing your thing, brother. It's working. I can't say I don't get it, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Kimberly sends $25 and goes, hey, turtle daddy. See, they do like calling me daddy. I hope they address the torn pocket on John's jeans. 100% not from being hit by a damn car. I know. Exactly. Nothing is. Lori Vallow sends $5 and goes, you are right, Mr. Turtle. The free Karen Reed and Lori Vallow is innocent content is all over TikTok. What? There's no Lori Vallow is innocent content on TikTok. Is there? No, everybody knows Lori Vallow is guilty as sin. Like as guilty gets. I've never heard a single person simp for Lori Vallow. Have you guys? If there is a free Lori Vallow movement, I've never seen it. Lori Vallow is like the Brooks guy. Why am I drawing on Daryl Brooks? It's like just as guilty gets, but also amusing. Robert Tellis was the same way. Like that guy was as guilty gets, but also awesome trial. Like fucking listen to that guy lie. It was like fucking wild, you know? So I don't know. Now the Koberger thing, there's some people who say he's innocent, not me. And one woman sent me this angry email like, oh my God, I really liked you until you said that. That motherfucker is psycho. And that trial's coming up in what, August? Have you seen the new shit coming out about that guy? That guy's guilty as shit. That'll probably be the next trial I cover after Karen Reed will be his trial. Like there's no fucking doubt that guy did it. No doubt. No fucking doubt that guy did it. Come on. Don't even. And that's the thing. That's why, I'm legit. It's like, I'm not always like the defendant is always innocent guy. I'm not that guy. Now, the one that's kind of like, I guess, up in the air, admittedly, I don't know that much about it, is the Richard Allen one, right? That one seems more people are split on that one. Although more people in my world, I think, say that guy's not guilty. I admittedly haven't followed it. I did watch the videotaped confession with his wife, which, I mean, think of how much stronger the evidence for Richard Allen is compared to Karen Reed. And that's not saying Richard Allen is guilty at all. I'm not saying that. But compared to Karen Reed, it's not even close. Like, there is no evidence whatsoever that Karen Reed said, I hit him. Even if she did, it wouldn't matter. Meanwhile, Richard Allen is on video telling his wife like over and over again that I did it. Like he's like, and she's like, no, you didn't. He's like, yeah, I fucking did. I did it. And I'm never coming home. Now, granted, they seem to have put this guy in solitary and it fucked with his brain. That seems to be, again, I know all the true crime diehards are going to be like, if I got something wrong here. My understanding is they put that guy in solitary, fucked with his brain, didn't get a fair trial. The judge in there is worse than Auntie Bev. Made him, his lawyers couldn't do their job, or they got rid of their lawyers or something like that. Didn't get a fair trial, blah, 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 blah. And that there's another guy who's, you know, the one who did it, and he had more, whatever. I don't fucking know. And then there's the bridge guy. There's like a video of the two girls, their last scene, they're videotaping, and some guy is walking across the train track bridge. And then they finally showed that video. And I'm not going to lie. When I look at that video and I'm like, that looks like a 5'5" guy, because this guy's short. I'm like, he looks short, you know? So again, I'm not saying Richard Allen is guilty at all. Whatever. Like I'd like to research more on that. I don't know shit on that trial, but it's like you look at that case and like people are kind of split on it, even though the dude confessed on video or whatever. And then you look at the Karen Reed case and it's like, they're not even close to the same thing. Not even close to the same thing. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Everybody in the chat tonight has Richard Allen thoughts. Again, I haven't had time to look into that. That trial's already over. But you know, I see everybody looks conflicted in the comments. A lot of people are saying innocent. Oh, and the Adelsons. That'll be my next one. Donna Adelson. Her trial's coming up too. Again, the Charlie Adelson trial happened right in the meat of the Karen Reed case. But that's another one. Like, Charlie Adelson is as guilty as sin, and there does not seem to be any movement whatsoever to free Charlie Adelson. Have you guys seen anything like that? Nothing. There's been nothing like that. Donna Adelson, same shit. Like, she's fucked. She's gonna die in prison, obviously, and never get out. The only issue with the Adelsons is, when is Wendy going down and Harvey? What is no fucking way. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. There's no fucking way that Charlie and Donna Adelson agreed to hire hitmen to kill Wendy Adelson's ex-husband, her baby daddy, right? And didn't consult her about it. No fucking way. Are you kidding me? Like, they didn't give her a heads up. Like, yeah, we're going to do this. Are you okay with this? What if she wasn't okay with it? What if it's like, no, that's too far. I don't want you doing that. Like, is it a birthday present? Like, surprise, motherfucker, we got you a hitman. Oh, shit. Oh, you did? I'm so happy. This is convenient now. Now we can move to Miami, and I get sole custody, and like, blah, blah, blah. That's so sweet of you. And no fucking way. No fucking way. She did it. Like, I don't believe for a second that Wendy Adelson did not know. Evil. But anyway, next up. Matt sends $10, goes, happy Mother's Day to my beautiful wife, Maggie. I love you and sorry it took so long. Isn't that sweet? Happy Mother's Day to all you fine mamas out there. I hope you have a great day tomorrow. Hope your kids make you breakfast in bed, all that fun stuff. And I hope you have a nice day. Meg sends $20 and goes, I'm donating on behalf of the troll that sent my employer an email saying I was a witness intimidator because I posted and a member of the Free Karen Reed Facebook group. Fuck them all. Was that you, Meg? Your shit that I posted on Twitter? It's just amazing what these people actually do. You know? And then they have the audacity to accuse us of intimidating them. Pam sends $10, goes, all the evidence should be thrown out due to collection errors and chain of custody issues. Therefore, the case should be dismissed. Free Karen Reed and justice for John. Thank you. Matt sends $10, goes, happy Mother's Day to my beautiful. No, I read that one already. Gray Space Dedrick sends $10 and goes, I have a BS in physics and I'm getting my PhD in astrophysics. Ooh, aren't you smart? And the suggestion that someone could be hit in just the arm by a car and flung any distance is insane. Also, I DM'd you the best TikTok I've seen about this trial so far on Twitter. Let me show you before we get started on Yuri. I know I keep. Let me see. YouTube Studio. What did I search? Or did I send this video to myself? Nope. BN Trouble 31. Check out this guy's YouTube. BN Trouble 31. All right. Check this out, bro. How am I just seeing this video now? This dude made an arm and then had a car drive by at 25 miles an hour, and they made a tail light. They put a tail light that's stuck out. It's not the regular tail light. And they just put the tail light out. Watch this shit. This is wild. Woo-hoo-hoo! Look at that shit. So it did break it into 4 pieces. There. All right, so he's got an arm right there. What the fuck? So it didn't break into 47 pieces.
Right on this corner piece, I hit about right here. But if I would have gotten a higher hit, it might not.
He keeps
have
buying
busted
Lexus
it at all.
taillights.
It would have cracked it, but it wouldn't have broke that whole section off the bottom. But I've got the bottom reinforced.
But just look at the speed of 25 miles an hour and just picture
Arm versus taillight, 25 miles per hour.
this is the
5 mile an hour arm versus taillight. Here we go.
but just the speed of this all, you know? Boom! Like, I'm sorry, dude. Just listen to how loud that is, too. Nobody woke up. Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. Come on. It's gonna fuck your arm. Like, and by the way, if your arm's on a goddamn hinge, whatever. We'll go over all this. Anyway, let me just read some Cash Apps. My Cash App is $ Uncle Turtle Boy. I don't want to miss anyone. Drea sends $7 and says, please wish my mom, Georgette, a happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Georgette. Love you. Shannon McMahon says, sends $10. She's a former DA candidate in Bristol County. Says, acquittal or hung, nothing will change of the DA. Acquittal or hung. Hopefully acquittal. Thank you, Shannon. Charles sends $5 and goes, I have alopecia on my balls. Whew. Naturally? I mean, that's convenient. Thank you. Holly sends $20 and goes, t-shirt to say Bev equals witness killers to lie on the stand. Okay. I don't think we're going to get that on a t-shirt, but thank you for the $20. Dylan sends $5 and goes, I wish I could call you daddy in person. I mean, you can, but I'm not sure if you're going somewhere with that because I don't know if you're a guy or whatever. You call me whatever you want, Dylan. Thank you. Holly sends $10 and goes, Higgins not responding to John O'Keefe is dead, looks guilty. Again, I don't know what that sentence means, but thank you for the $10. Patty sends $15 and goes, how dare you break DePetro's policy? I know. I violated DePetro's policy. Megan sends $10 and goes, was it a fight gone too far or premeditated? I say a fight gone too far. Thank you. Paige sends $15, goes, what's the deal with the Chloe Cora? Is it dead? I don't think that's actually, there's no evidence whatsoever that he actually met Chloe. None. Besides, trust me, bro. Chad sends $5 and says sangria. Okay, thanks, Chad. Okay. Matt sends $20 and goes, happy Mother's Day to my beautiful wife, Maggie. Okay. Thank you, Matt. All right. If anyone else wants their messages read, or if you've sent them in already, I'll get to them, but we got to get started on this. It's almost 10:30. You can send them in to the turtle chats at the top of the chat, or you can cash at me $, Uncle Turtle Boy. Okay. So we're going to start with Thursday Bukkake first. We're going to do Thursday Bukkake first. And let's do it. All right. I got timestamps and everything. I'm all prepared today. All prepared. 5:33.
Position, but there are many instances where a sergeant might have less experience than a well-seasoned trooper that's been in the office for 15 to 20 years. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. That may be the case, but under ordinary circumstances, you earn your way into a supervisory role in the Massachusetts State Police through both not just time, but time and experience, correct?
we take an exam and then get promoted based on the exam.
Part of the responsibility that you have as a supervisor is to make sure that the case is properly investigated, and that may include making sure you have the right suspects, right? The array of suspects that may exist, you want to make sure, and you supervise to make sure that that array of suspects is appropriate and proper, correct?
In every investigation, we follow the evidence. We follow the statements made, provided by eyewitnesses, witnesses in the case. Sometimes the defendants or suspects provide statements to us. At many instances, those could be contradictory statements. We follow the evidence in every investigation, and that evidence determines who the suspect, person of interest, or ultimately the defendant is.
And you want to make sure that you gather, or that your subordinates gather that evidence in an appropriate and objective way. It's obviously the foundation of a good
Wait,
investigation.
is this
correct?
the wrong? Oh, I got the wrong stream. I'm like, what am I? I got the long crime one. Let me pull up the one I wanted. Need Court TV. Hold on. I got it over here. Hold on. The long crime stream is not synced up with the Court TV, so I got the wrong timestamps. Hold on. 5:33. I got. Here we go.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Sergeant Bukhenik.
Good afternoon, sir.
I want to talk to you for a second about roles in this case, in this investigation. Would you agree with me that Michael Proctor was the lead investigator as well as the case agent in charge of this case?
This is amazing.
He was assigned as the case officer for the case.
In that position, given the fact that it was his assignment, would you agree with me that he had a leadership role insofar as the investigation of the case is concerned?
I wouldn't call it a leadership role. It's more of a facilitator, liaison between the DA's personnel within the office and the state police. He also helps facilitate any missions, outstanding tasks that need to be completed.
He obviously had a supervisor, correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
He obviously had a supervisor, correct?
He did, yes, that would be myself.
That would be you.
Yes.
Every case has some lead trooper in your unit, correct? Every case is assigned to someone to sort of be in charge and lead the charge of the investigation. Is that right?
Every case.
I don't know how much time he spent on this, but this set the tone, didn't it, folks? This set the tone for Bukkake. This was like, this is a really simple answer and not one that's going to get you in trouble either. Yeah, he was the lead detective, and we agree he's a douchebag, but I'm not a douchebag. He is, and I had no idea he was such a douchebag. It's really simple. Just say that. Instead, he does this whole thing about 51% and, oh yeah, he's not a leader. And then what about, is this person a leader? And
a case officer that manages the investigation.
Right. And managing the investigation doesn't mean just, typing up schedules. It means actually managing the investigation, like deciding what search warrants are going to be written in certain circumstances. That's one example, correct?
They're responsible for writing and authoring those search warrants. Sometimes the recommendation, suggestion, or leadership comes from the supervisors or the DA staff where their experience might dictate otherwise.
And sometimes it comes from the lead case agent himself or herself, correct?
At times, yes.
Every team, even back when you were in the military, you're on
oh
many
my
teams,
God. So this
correct?
goes
I would
on.
agree with you that a team consists of more than one person.
Yeah.
There's going to be a team leader, right?
Yeah.
That's a military phrase, team leader.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a team.
Yeah.
The lead case agent. Not just another officer, not just another detective, but the lead case agent.
The case officer for the investigation was Michael Proctor.
But you don't want to say lead case agent or case officer, correct?
I refer to that billet as case officer.
Your responsibility as the supervisor over this particular case officer is, or any other case officer that you might have, or any other trooper that you might have under your supervision, your responsibility in no small part is to supervise the individuals under your command to ensure that the case is adequately investigated, it's properly investigated. That's part of your role as a supervisor, correct?
That is one of my many responsibilities, yes.
It's partly because you have more experience, I'm guessing, than the people under your charge. Is that right?
Certainly in my position, but there are many instances where a sergeant might have less experience than a well-seasoned trooper that's been in the office for 15 to 20 years.
Oh my gosh.
So
Fair enough. Fair enough. That may be the case, but
Yeah.
part of the responsibility that you have as a proper, correct?
in every investigation, we follow the evidence. we
So
follow-
anyway, as we've seen since then, in Michael Proctor's termination papers, it calls him the lead investigator several times. On top of that, Brian Tully and Michael Proctor's grand jury testimony both repeatedly refers to Michael Proctor as the lead investigator. His testimony does not. I'm looking for something where he calls Michael Proctor the lead investigator. I haven't found one yet. If it exists, I'm going to find it. But as far as I know, he has not ever officially called him that on the stand. But Tully and Proctor have both done that multiple times. And he won't admit it. And this is what we're dealing with here. I feel like Tully would have just admitted it. Just get it over with. Rip off the fucking Band-Aid. Just say it. Be like, yeah, he's the lead investigator. Like, you're not. How does this make him look to the jury as just a guy up here who's just evasive, dishonest, and can't admit the small things? Like, what? Okay, so this guy's a cop. I mean, we should all be concerned that this guy is a cop. It's a problem. It's a pretty big problem.
Well, the statements
so
made provided
next
by
time,
eyewitnesses,
yeah,
witnesses
all
in the case. Sometimes the defendants or suspects provide statements to us. At many instances, those.
All right. So how about the investigation? Was it done with integrity?
Make sure the whole team is aware of all the evidence and information that is available to us at the time.
You want to make sure that, I'm going to use a colloquial phrase, you keep tabs on those who are reporting to you, correct? What are they doing? What are they engaged in? When are they coming and going? Who are they interviewing? Things of that nature. Basic investigative things, correct?
For the most part, you can't track every single person all the time, but this is a very serious line of work. A lot depends on it. We speak for those that can no longer speak for themselves. So we do our best to conduct every investigation with integrity, honor, and get to the truth.
What a crock of shit. Listen to this again. Listen to what he said.
Serious line of work. A lot.
It's a serious line of work. Oh yeah, you guys are. I love when they talk about how serious they are. You're not these are not serious people at all. None of their investigation was serious. If they're so serious, why are they in group text messages talking about balloon knots and fuck her, bitch? There's nothing serious about any of these people. These are clowns. These guys are jokes. None of these people are serious.
Depends on it. We speak for those that can no longer speak for themselves. So we do our best to.
We speak for those who no longer speak for themselves. This man has covered up the murder of a police officer. He has done the exact opposite of speaking for John O'Keefe. He has thrown an innocent woman under the bus in order to protect the people that murdered John O'Keefe. What a crock of shit.
Conduct every investigation with integrity, honor, and get to the truth.
If you don't properly supervise, I'm talking about your role now as a supervisor. If you don't properly engage in that supervision, it obviously increases chances for mistakes. It increases chances for bias to seep in. It increases chances that something could affect the adequacy of the investigation, correct?
That's a lot there. Can you repeat that, please?
Oh my God, see?
Sure. If you don't properly supervise your subordinates in an investigation, failing to properly supervise them could increase the chances that mistakes are made. Is that right?
Yes, that is one possibility.
Okay, let's break it down. It also increases chances that there could be inherent biases.
All right, so next one.
You want to make sure it doesn't happen, right?
545.
I believe that human beings
supervise them, correct?
Yes, absolutely. We are professionals, and we conduct each and every investigation with that in mind and with the integrity that is necessary.
You just used the word I was about to use. That ensures the adequacy of the investigation, correct?
Yes.
To use your word, that ensures the integrity of the investigation. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
As you sit here today, do you believe that this investigation, now I'm going to turn to this investigation, was conducted with professionalism, with competence, at the highest level of integrity?
This investigation was conducted professionally with integrity, and all the evidence collected, all the statements collected pointed in one direction. There was no bias influence on the evidence, on the information that was collected, or which direction the investigation pointed naturally.
I mean, imagine saying that with a straight face, that this investigation was done with integrity. The lead detective, I know you don't want to call him lead, but he is the lead detective in this, was talking about going through David Yanetti's retarded client's phone looking for nudes. That's integrity? Like, what's the definition of integrity? The definition of integrity, the Webster's definition, as he would like to say, is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. What moral principles have we seen from any of these people? Integrity? These people don't even know what integrity is. Disgusting. I mean, like this investigation, it was a clown show. And the best they can do is just admit that, like, this was really unprofessional the way we acted. But she still did it. Like, that should be their thing. But instead, he's just like, no, this was integrity. Integrity? Oh. Okay. Then he goes, what about Michael Proctor? Did Michael Proctor taint the investigation, the guy that you guys are hiding? Let's see what he says about that.
It was Michael Proctor. He was. He was.
Because he was on call, any case that happened to come in would be assigned to whom?
To the on-call trooper that's on the schedule.
Which was whom?
It was Michael Proctor.
Finally admits it was Proctor.
Let me just ask you this. Do you believe that Michael Proctor, his involvement in this case, taints the investigation? Tainted the investigation?
No.
Not at all.
No, like, imagine saying that Michael Proctor didn't taint the investigation at all. At all. Like, being that obtuse.
The investigation was done with honor, integrity, and all the evidence pointed in one direction only.
Honor and
integrity.
Integrity by Michael Proctor?
Oh, here we go. I mean, that's the tough one. Notice he can't say yes. Was it done with honor and integrity by Michael Proctor? Is he going to say that? Is he going to say yes to this? Like, can you say this with a straight face that, okay, fine. You have honesty, integrity. You're the clean cop here who allowed all this to happen. We get it. You're the straight arrow. Was it done with honor and integrity by Michael Proctor? And he can't answer it at first. Like, was he not prepped? Does he not just that pause right there alone looks horrible. The fact that he can't immediately say, yes, it was done with honor and integrity by Michael Proctor.
Was that a question? I'm sorry.
Sure is.
Was that a
honor and integrity by Michael Proctor? Sorry? Okay.
Sustain to the comment. Go ahead and ask it again.
I'll ask it again. You said honor and integrity. Honor and integrity by Michael Proctor? Okay.
I'll allow it.
The investigation was conducted with honor and integrity, and all the evidence pointed in one direction and one direction only.
Like, think of how bad that looks. He's asking if it was done with honor and integrity by Michael Proctor, and he just can't fucking say it. The jury has heard the question 10 times now, and they're like, this guy can't answer it, and he's just lying. He's up here. Does he think that the jury can't see this? This is horrible. Horrible.
Sergeant Bukhenik.
And with this whole cocky demeanor here, with his arm up and his fucking cufflinks and his faces that he's making, is he trying to prove that, yeah, we are fucking arrogant here in the Massachusetts State Police. We are full of ourselves, and we know that we are untouchable, and we are fucking awesome, the work that we do. Oh my God, he couldn't come across as more unlikable. Again, the way Tully testified, Tully was like upright and had quick answers for everything with his little fucking cone head there. And I don't know why they didn't call him instead of Bukaki. He would have been if you're going to have one person speak for your organization, it should have been him. But instead they bring up this smug prick and what a disaster.
You don't want to answer my question. Correct?
I will answer your question. Absolutely.
You're not. He's not.
Do you think this case was handled with honor and integrity by Michael Proctor?
Really?
The investigation was handled with integrity by Michael Proctor.
Finally, why didn't you say that before? And now the laugh track comes out. Honor, integrity by Michael Proctor.
You do know that he touched or had input in nearly every part of this case, obviously, as the case officer, correct?
He managed the case.
So he had some input or had some connection to nearly every part of the case, be it the physical evidence, the search warrants, the interviews, things of that nature.
He was one of the involved with collecting evidence, conducting interviews.
Here we go.
And signing affidavits for the search warrants.
He didn't take a minor role in this case. He had a major role in this case. Would you at least agree with that?
He had a role that was more significant than others. A major role would, to me, suggest that he had 51% or more. And
I mean, where did he come up with this? Did Brennan prep him to say this? I can't imagine Brennan would be like, yeah, you should be like, it's okay. The investigation is not tainted, because he did less than 51% of the work. First of all, how do you quantify that? And that was a mistake on his part, as we're going to see.
And with a team of the size that we had working on this case, he did not have a major role.
So you believe, as you sit here today, your testimony is Michael Proctor did not have a major role in this investigation of Commonwealth versus Karen Reed because he didn't have 51% of something? That's your testimony?
That's the way I understand it, yes.
Okay.
And so from this point on, he's like, oh, okay, so he wants to play hardball. Well, we can do it his way. Like, this could have been over. This whole cross-examination could have been done before lunch yesterday. But this motherfucker wants to make things difficult. And he wants to drag shit out. And he wants to make everything like pulling teeth. So he's like, okay. And so Alan Jackson's like, here's what we're going to do. We are going to read every report one by one and see who signed them. We're going to read over 51% of the reports. As a matter of fact, we're going to read all of them and see who signed, whose name is on everything. And so I've time-stamped all the times here, 5:53:30. Let's look at this one. What does this one say as he looks through it? What's that one? I wonder who signed this. Like, I love how he's looking through each one too. Like, he doesn't know the answer. Like, does he think that by delaying this, if he just waits longer, that Alan Jackson's going to give up? That he's just going to say, oh, well, you know what? I got the best of me. He delayed. Like, he sits there. He knows who signed this report. He knows what's coming. He knows Alan Jackson's not giving him this if the answer isn't Michael Proctor.
Michael Proctor.
Oh,
tab 2.
Michael Proctor. How about the next one? Let's see. 5:54:50.
On this document, the affiant is Michael Proctor.
Oh, how about that? How about this one?
Again, this is not a signed search warrant. This is just an affidavit.
Whose name is at the bottom?
The name at the bottom printed is Michael Proctor.
Oh, how about that? What about this one?
Michael Proctor.
Oh.
You turn to tab 5. Does that appear to be a police report? See a reference in that?
Reference to it, yes.
Okay. Whose report is that?
It's Trooper Nicholas Garino's report.
And who is referred to on page 2 as seeking search warrant ending in 10?
I know the answer.
That search warrant was issued at Stone District Court and presented by Trooper Proctor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so, but
how about this one?
I would say this isn't an actual search warrant, but it seems like at the bottom says Trooper Michael Proctor.
Oh, how about this one?
It's a report written by Nicholas Garino referencing Mr. O'Keefe's cell phone, yes.
And it indicates that Mr. O'Keefe's cell phone was seized by
who?
A particular trooper?
Oh, I know this one.
That's what the report indicates, yes.
Who's the trooper?
In this report, it says that...
oh, I know this one. I know this one.
Proctor secured the cell phone.
Oh, how about this one?
Do you see reference to Karen Reed's cell phone having been seized?
Yes.
And that was seized by Trooper Proctor also, correct?
Yeah, him and I were there together.
Oh, yeah, how about
that
this one?
Part of the report where I'm directing your attention to July of 2023, there was a Canton Police Department video requested by someone, correct?
Yes.
Who was
requested by?
Oh, I know this
Trooper
one.
Proctor.
And who delivered it to Trooper Proctor?
I did.
Oh, this one.
It was Trooper Proctor that analyzed the video and wrote up the timeline.
Thank you.
How about this?
83.
And who authored that report?
This report is authored
Oh, I know
by
it. I know it. I know it.
Trooper Michael Proctor.
Oh, how about this
on
one?
This copy's information on there. Yes, I would say so.
And who's the person who submitted the items that I'll ask you about?
It is Trooper Michael Proctor.
And those items include...
Oh, how about that? It's just like he dog walked this motherfucker. What you just saw there, right there, that was Alan Jackson walking his dog. That's what that was right there. Walking that bitch around on a leash. Take a piss here, take a shit here. Dude, Michael Proctor. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sit, boo-boo, sit. That's what that was. Alan Jackson just dog walked a motherfucker in front of us and just made him like, oh, you want to play hardball, huh? You think you're cute? You think you're going to outwit Alan Jackson? Whew. We can do this the AJ way. We can do it the AJ way if you want. Oh, we can dog walk a motherfucker. Oh, for sure. How about like at the 6:05 one? Watch how long it takes him here just to say Michael Proctor. By this point, he knows the answer to every question is Michael Proctor. Every question. It's not a trick. It's just the answer is Michael Proctor. Watch this.
I do. And who is it? It's listed as having received and reviewed and
Six-
analyzed the town library videos.
6:05:50.
Just one second, I have to read the report.
6:05:50. Here we go. This is at 1.5 speed. Today, June, the answer is Michael Proctor. It's always Michael Proctor. The answer is always Michael Proctor. This is not a trick question. Oh, here we go. He's still looking. Look how long this takes.
It was Trooper Proctor that analyzed the
Oh
video.
my God, dude. It's like all that. That was 1.5 minutes. It took him to say Michael Proctor. The answer is Michael Proctor. And how about this little trick he did at the 5:56 mark? Look at this trick he tried.
With this case.
Okay. Have you ever seen it before?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever seen it before, this search warrant?
I haven't read the whole thing, so I can't testify to that.
So this could be a search warrant that you never even saw?
Based on what you're presenting to me, never having seen or not having read all the details of it, I cannot say whether I've seen it before or not.
So you're not sure that Michael Proctor didn't just do the search warrant without your knowledge? As you sit here.
I don't know if this is truly Michael Proctor's product.
Think that might be a forgery?
I'm sorry?
You think that might be a forgery at the end of that affidavit?
Well, for one, it's not signed. So I don't know who produced this. What I'm saying to you is I don't know who produced this. The quality of the first document, the narrative, I don't know who produced it. If you show me a search warrant application with an affidavit from court.
It's just like everything, dude. You think Alan Jackson doesn't have receipts? Like you're just going to be like, oh, it's the quality of the printing job isn't good enough for him. Dude, the answer is Michael Proctor. Oh my God. Okay. And then he says about this one, he tries this little stipulation. 612.
As I mentioned, that was just report 83. There's 100+ reports in this case that were written. There's a lot of evidence that was collected and processed. So he had a part in the investigation as the case officer managing the tasks. But there's a lot of people involved in this investigation.
So
there's a lot of people involved in this investigation, but Michael Proctor's just involved in everything. But it's under 51%.
Touched or authored or reviewed or controlled at least every bit of what you and I have talked about this morning. All these items we just talked about, correct?
He is referenced or is his name appears on most of these documents, yes, if not all.
Of the ones that we just went through, he's not just referenced, he's the author of every single one.
Look at this one. Look at this.
Nicholas Garino wrote some of these reports.
Sorry, the author of the search warrant. I asked you to look at Nicholas Garino's report to reference the search warrant that Nicholas Garino referenced in his report, and Michael Proctor was the author of that search warrant, correct?
Again, I hate to do this to you, but
I don't think you do.
I don't think.
Some of these search warrants could not be authenticated. I don't know what these documents were. I didn't read them, so I can't tell you that.
It couldn't be authenticated. This motherfucker in his game playing, like, listen. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just can't believe how easily this guy lies. It's amazing. Let me pull up this one. 611. Actually, we're going to get to that. All right. Next timestamp. What do I have here? 6:15:30.
At some point, I learned that he was a Boston police officer, yes.
And on January 29th, did you ever respond to 34 Fairview Road at any time?
On January 29th, 2022, at no point in time did I or Michael Proctor, who was with me the whole time, ever respond to 34 Fairview Road.
So the answer—
Notice he's got, I wanted that one. Notice how quickly he's got the answer to that one. Me and Michael Proctor never went anywhere near there. We didn't play in any taillight. Wasn't us. First of all, that's wild that the lead detectives didn't go to the scene of the crime. Just no interest in it whatsoever. No. We don't need to see it. We don't need to, like, first of all, Bukk and McNulty right now are like, fuck, they solved the fucking murder just without saying a word in a kitchen one time. Okay? Just by looking around the fucking kitchen, they figured it all out right there. You go to that crime scene and you're like, holy shit, that's really close to the house. This guy got hit by a car. Like, they would immediately, real detectives would go to that scene and be like, wait a minute. So this guy got hit by a car right here, and then he landed. Nobody heard it. And what? None of it would have made no sense to smart people. But this motherfucker, these guys just like wearing suits. Every time I see these motherfuckers with their suits too, they are so arrogant. Oh, look at me. I'm not a regular cop. I get to wear a suit to work. I'm professional. I get to wear, show my cuffs off and wear a fucking suit. I'm not like the other guys. I don't have to wear that gay ass fucking cowboy hat. I don't have to do that shit. I'm a detective now. I'm a big shot. Oh, but and by the way, what century is this? I thought the world, like the woke world, like, why is everybody who works there a white guy? There isn't a single woman that works in this fucking unit. Not like that's a problem, but not a single, like, I feel like a woman in those text messages would be like, dude, fuck. Like, this isn't a locker room. And nobody's black or brown. Like every person's a fucking white guy. I've never seen one that does not. It's just like, what century is this?
Answer to my question very simply is no, right?
That's correct.
You just answered this question as well, but I want to make sure we're absolutely clear. Your Honor, approach. I don't want that bond here to be in this way.
Of the incident.
At 10:41, let me just ask it a little bit more straightforward if I can. Just get to the point. At 10:41 a.m., you called the medical examiner's office to inform them that Mr. O'Keefe, quote, was struck in the face with a cocktail glass, or at least appeared to be, correct?
That is in part what I advised the medical examiner's office, where they are responsible for the medical portion of.
Objection, Your Honor. May we approach briefly?
This is where it's like he won't fucking answer the question. So this is a really simple, that's a yes. At 10:41, he contacted the medical examiner's office and said that he believed that John O'Keefe was hit in the face with a cocktail glass. That was their working theory because Jen McCabe hadn't told them yet about the bullshit about I hit him.
Okay.
And so then this was great. So they have the sidebar because he's not answering the questions. And they come back.
May I have just a moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
Or no, this wasn't the.
Did you contact the medical examiner's office in the morning of January 29th, 2022?
Yes.
And did you state to them that there was a possibility that the decedent, John O'Keefe, was struck in the face with a cocktail glass?
I don't recall my words exactly, but that sounds accurate.
So I don't know if that's the incident. Wait, was that the one where she gets yelled at to answer the question, or was it this one?
Responsible for the medical portion of.
Objection, Your Honor. May we approach briefly? Correct? Let me just ask it a little bit more straightforward if I can. Just get to the point. At 10:41 a.m., you called the medical examiner's office to inform them that Mr. O'Keefe, quote, was struck in the face with a cocktail glass, or at least appeared to be, correct?
That is in part what I advised the medical examiner's office, where they are responsible for the medical portion of.
Oh, this was it.
May we approach briefly?
This was it. Okay. Objection, Your Honor. I've never seen that before.
May I have just a moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
Did she yell at him? I thought she directed him to. Doesn't she tell him, cut the shit, dude?
All right, so Sergeant, I'm
Oh,
going
here
to
it
ask
is.
you to do your best to answer the question that's asked.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know how hard that is to get Auntie Bev to side with the defense? I'm going to do your best to answer the question, you lying motherfucker. You know? Okay, back to this other stream. All right, what timestamp are we on here? We're at 6:31:30. Okay.
They all told you that, right?
They were inside the home when the defendant and Mr. O'Keefe arrived in the SUV.
These are the very people that would have a motive to lie if they were somehow involved, right?
Can you answer that, Sergeant?
No, Your Honor.
Like that, what a fucking crock of shit that was. He's trying. Listen, what he's trying to get him to admit here.
You did that morning. Still on the same thing.
Which information? We got information from a lot of different sources at that point in time.
I'm talking about the first three interviews that you did, the first three civilian interviews you did that morning. Still on the same thing. You mentioned talking to three people at a residence in Kearney. Brian Albert, Jim McCabe, Matt McCabe. All three were at 34 Fairview when they indicated John O'Keefe arrived in an SUV. They all told you that, right?
They were inside the home when when the defendant and Mr. O'Keefe arrived in the SUV.
These are the very people that would have a motive to lie if they were somehow involved, right?
Really simple. Would they have a motive to lie if they were involved? The answer to that one is yes. But I don't believe I found them to be credible. Something like that. Yeah, but there's no evidence that they were involved. Something like that. Miss Reed hadn't told us that he went in the house. Say some shit. The answer to that one is yes. But he can't admit that. He says this instead.
Can you answer that, Sergeant?
No, Your Honor.
No.
You're a professional investigator.
No.
Correct.
That's correct.
Homicide investigator, right?
That's correct.
Many years of experience, right? So yes.
I don't know what many means to you, but
Oh my God.
How many years of experience do you have?
in homicide,
Right.
10 next week.
Okay. Does that sound like many?
I didn't answer the first time because I don't know what you would.
Interviews, correct?
No, not correct.
You didn't go in the house. You didn't search the house. We've already talked about that, right?
I did not go into 34 Fairview. No, I did not.
You didn't ask them to come together to the station, correct?
That's correct. I did not ask them to come to the station.
As a matter of fact, when you went to interview Jennifer McCabe at her home, Brian Albert happened to be there, correct?
He was there, and I was able to conduct the interview at the house
Yeah.
with Brian Albert. Yes.
Did you tape it? Nah.
Did you find that odd?
Absolutely not.
Totally normal for you to conduct a formal interview in a homicide case and have an extra person show up at the house just to be there?
Absolutely. Cooperating with witnesses always try and be assisting. So cooperating witnesses would assist us.
What? I mean, this is just cooperate. No, nothing odd about that at all. He just pops it. Hey, how's that homicide interview going? Yeah, what's going on with that? Yeah, fuck. How about that, Karen Reed? Oh yeah, nothing shady about that whatsoever. And there's this part, Michael Proctor with the clothing. I liked how he brought all this up about who had access to all this shit.
There's only 4 detectives in the office at that time working on this case. We communicate daily, so they would know that, hey, it's dry. Let's bag it up.
Well, that's a lot of speculation, especially from the supervisor, literally, who just said, I have no idea. They weren't communicating with you.
I was giving you an explanation of what could have happened.
Right. Speculation about what could have happened, right?
Well, I certainly did not bag that item.
Right. But your best estimate would be, knowing the protocols at the MSP and in your unit, would be the case officer who's controlling the items of evidence would have bagged it and submitted it into the evidence locker.
I do not know who bagged it.
So for 6 days, anybody who had access to that room could have handled that clothing in any way they wanted to.
That's correct.
I mean, this was great. This was brilliant. Like, I love how he's laying it out here. Michael Proctor is disgraced. All that clothing. Fine. You're clean. You're the clean cop. Fine. Whatever. Michael Proctor, did he have access to that clothing? You know, the clothing where DNA samples came from and you guys claim you found microscopic taillight and all this shit. Did Michael Proctor have any access to that clothing?
And that includes former Trooper Michael Proctor.
That's correct.
Oh, yes, he did. Okay. Well, maybe like, did you guys keep track? How about this? Usually police have chain of custody. They want to know who touched what when. So that way they can be like, hey, here's it went from here to here, then it went in the bag here. You guys did that, right? Because this is like a murder investigation of a cop. You guys did that, right?
I don't have a document logging the clothing laying out there. It was documented in reports and processing, I believe.
Have you ever seen a log? Not a report after the fact, but another log, one-time log, indicating who may have come in and handled or touched or manipulated those clothes in that 6 days span before the fact?
I have never seen a log like that. No.
Oh, good. There's no chain of custody log. Fuck it. It's not like this is a murder investigation or anything like that. Well, what about Berkey? What about your pal Berkey? He have any, what, remember when Berkey drove by there and he saw the taillight from his car on February 4th on a murder investigation that his department had been conflicted out of? Oh, yeah. What happened there?
I don't have a memory of him sharing that information, but if you have a report that was authored by me or Michael Proctor or any trooper in our office that says that, I will take it as gospel and testify to it.
Okay. Well, I want to take up the time to look for it. We'll put our hands on that. But in the meantime, let me ask you a few other questions. You were contacted and told to respond to 34 Fairview because Chief Berkowitz had been driving by and saw something while he was driving by, correct?
On which day, sir?
February 4th.
I'm sorry?
February 4th.
You know which day.
Yes. He indicated he was driving by and saw piece of potential evidence.
And he was driving by in a car at speed, correct?
I would take that to be factual. I mean, if he's driving by, I would take it to be in a car
and
at speed.
Did you question Chief Berkowitz about, by the way, about how old was Chief Berkowitz when you met him out at 34 Fairview in 2022?
How old?
How old? Estimate. Was he in his 50s, 60s, 70s?
I have no idea how old Chief Berkowitz was.
I think you have some
He
idea.
indicated to you that he was driving by and saw a small piece of red taillight from his car. Is that right? He indicated to you that he was driving by and saw a red something from his car, correct? Did you question Chief Berkowitz after you learned this information about him driving by? Did you question Chief Berkowitz about how he could possibly see a piece of red plastic from his car?
No.
Did you question Chief Berkowitz about why he was driving by 34 Fairview in the first place?
No.
I mean, it's just, that's great. At least he answered those. I mean, those look so bad. So let me get this straight, as Joe Flipper had pointed out today. All these people drove right by a 220-pound body lying on the lawn and didn't see it. But Chief Berkowitz, an elder, like a guy in his 50s, probably late 50s, drives by from a moving vehicle and notices a small piece of taillight. What the fuck? And this guy's just like, yeah, nothing suspicious about the. Again, this isn't incompetence. They'll say it's a lot of people want to be like, these are the most incompetent cops ever. They're not. They're not incompetent. I assure you, they're not this incompetent. This is intentional. They've solved mysteries before, murders before. It can be done. It can be done. And they just didn't do it. Okay. Let's go on to the next day. Day 2 of Bukkake. All right.
We are on schedule for Monday. I'm going to ask you all to come in at 10. So we'll start at 10 o'clock on Monday and we will go.
10 o'clock. Okay.
So we will see you
All
next week.
right.
With same
Start
questions. Please do
on
not discuss this case with anyone.
8:30. Okay.
Independent research or investigation into this case.
I've been excavated.
All right. So let's talk about the taillight that you guys found. Where exactly was that?
To that location several times, and it was all located in the general vicinity where it was initially excavated, but also where I was told Mr. John O'Keefe was found on the morning of January 29th, 2022.
So it was all found in the general vicinity of where his body was found. That's great. That's great. General vicinity, whatever the fuck general vicinity means. Okay. If it was all in the general vicinity of where his body was, then why didn't anyone see it? Because that was where his body was is where Gallagher was looking for it with his leaf blower, which doesn't miss a fucking thing, according to him. Nobody saw a single piece of taillight. And by the way, when the CERT team comes and they dig it all up, they have now made it so that that portion of the lawn has no snow on it, effectively, right? Maybe inch of snow at that point after they get the 20 inches of snow out of there. And then it was unseasonably warm for like 3 weeks. That area where John's body was, that snow is all gone in 24 hours. All of it. It's no longer there. There is no reason that taillight would keep showing itself at all. Because as the snow melted, because they literally shoveled out the area where the taillight was all found. Done. That snow was all melted by then. They didn't photograph where his body was. They didn't put they told me the body was somewhere around there. I mean, this is a fucking joke. I hope. But again, does the jury know it's a joke? How do they know this if they're not Michael Easter? Like, he's a cop. A lot of people trust cops. Like, maybe that's just how it's done. I don't know. I'm not a cop. What the fuck do I know about investigations? This guy sounds pretty sure of himself. There is that chance that one juror is seeing it that way.
So, other than saying in the general vicinity, did you seek to actually document where each item was found? In other words, by cross coordinates or some other such manner?
The exact location where each item was recovered from was not documented with a picture or GPS location. It was still within the general vicinity of that 40 to 50 square feet or so.
40 to 50 square feet or so is not very big. 7 by 7 or 6 by, 7 by 7 is 49 feet. That's not very big. John O'Keefe was 6 feet 2 inches tall. So basically as long, like that's a small fucking area, 50 square feet. But okay. And it was all found there. Then why didn't you find it on the first try?
By my approximation, near the flagpole, between the street, the flagpole, and the fire hydrant. It was all the same general vicinity.
So 40 to 50 square feet would be a 10 foot by 5 foot
Right.
square, correct?
Generally speaking, 50, 5 by 10
Okay.
fragments.
So next part. Last trial, the crime scene spoke to Trooper Paul. What did the crime scene tell you? Now, it's not the crime scene that's talking to the state police anymore. Something new is talking to them.
From that SUV on the lawn. So I wasn't assuming anything. The evidence was speaking to us.
Oh, the evidence was speaking to us.
I was there recovering the evidence, yes.
So now the evidence is talking to the Massachusetts State Police saying, I'm right here. It's me, evidence. It's me. Come bag me, but don't put chain of custody on it whatsoever. But here I am. How you doing? How's your day going? Yeah, you look like a human Tetris piece. I think it's swell. I love that haircut. I love it.
At the time of the incident.
No, of course not.
So you were utilizing assumptions and presumptions based on information that was provided to you. Yes or no?
We work by learning information, collecting evidence, and getting that evidence to suggest what happened. That evidence is tested, and then it's all put together into the case.
Use the word to suggest what happened, correct?
Yes.
Another word for a suggestion is if something is suggested to you, you then receive it and assume certain things based on that suggestion.
Oh, I see where
we
it's
do with
going.
suggestions, we corroborate them. A witness statement is, I guess you can say, a suggestion, and then we corroborate it through evidence.
And of course, you make assumptions based on those.
So they take witness statements and then corroborate them. What did they do to corroborate Jennifer McCabe's statements about what Karen Reed was saying at 6 o'clock? What did they do to corroborate that John O'Keefe never came in the house? What did they do to corroborate that? Did they look at John's phone data? Nothing like that. Nothing.
Suggestions, correct? Yes or no?
We have theories.
Another term for a theory is an assumption or a presumption, correct?
I guess in some respect you can say that,
Okay.
but I'm
So the answer
not.
is yes.
I'm not going to argue about semantics here.
Well, you'll agree that words matter, right? I'm here testifying, so words do matter.
Words do matter. That's that's important.
So working off of your theory, you theorized that there was an impact spot at 34 Fairview, correct?
Based on the statement I hit him, I assumed that Mr. O'Keefe was impacted with something. Initial hours of the investigation, we had those statements I hit him. We had the statements that, oh my God, did I hit him? So utilizing that information with the evidence at that point that we had was a broken cocktail glass. So a theory would be, why is the cocktail glass broken? Because it came into contact with the victim. So that's why my information communicated to the ME's office was a possible domestic.
So that was his what? What did they call that? What? That was your what? What was the word you used?
Was a broken cocktail glass. So a theory would be, why is the cocktail glass
Oh,
broken?
so that was his theory. Oh, that's good. His theory initially was that John O'Keefe was hit by a cocktail glass. That's a theory. Well, what does he say a minute later? Oh, I think we all know what he says a minute later. Let's see what he says a minute later.
We were working off a report of an injured male party, and then we developed the information, collected the evidence, and developed the investigation.
You know what the word theory means?
I'm sorry, English is like a third language for me. So if you can bring.
He just said the word fucking theory 1 minute before and used it in the sentence. And now he doesn't know what a theory is because English is his third language. There is no possible way that Hank Brennan prepped him. I mean, if he did, shame on him. This is a fucking disaster. Like, whatever you do, Bukaki, don't say that English is your third language and you don't know what the word theory means. That's not going to play well. Okay. And secondly, call me xenophobic, if you will. If your third language is English, third, Not your first, not your second, your third language is English. You shouldn't be a cop in the United States of America. I'm sorry. Unless, I mean, I guess you can make an exception if English is your second language and you are, and your first language is Spanish and you work in Lawrence. Okay, fine. Or you work in Dallas or something, or Phoenix, something like that. No, this guy, his first two languages, neither one of them is Spanish at all. It's fucking Ukrainian and Russian. And he is like, yeah, it's my third language. And I'm sorry, but call me xenophobic. I don't give a shit. I tweeted this out the other day. This guy is like a walking poster child for closed borders. Like, he came here. He was born in the Ukraine, which was a non-existent country when he was born there because it was a republic of the Soviet Union, the most famous communist country to ever exist, like the king daddy of communism. And he was born there. And so it's a completely different culture. And I'm sorry, but this motherfucker has imported his culture here. This is why people this is why people want closed borders and shit. Because it's like, he's not assimilating into our culture. He's bringing communist culture with him. Because this guy's a fucking commie. This is his whole attitude towards the police and like, yes, we will ask the questions. I mean, he went around asking people about fucking rubber duckies and shit. In Ukraine, that might be normal. That might be fucking normal in Ukraine in 1989. Viv, where is this rubber ducky from? Did you put the rubber ducky there? Who put the rubber ducky there? Who? You tell me right now. Or you go right to the gulag. We put you in there. You tell me. You have no rights. No rights in this country. You tell us right now. Who put you up to this? He went around asking people, where did you get your information from? On the internet? You cannot read about the case on the internet. Like, are you kidding me? This guy. And yeah, so fuck off if you don't like it. But this isn't just some one-off thing. This is a fucking commie. That's what this guy is. He's a fucking commie agent. There is no difference between him and the KGB. None whatsoever. And I'm sure in Russia in 1989 and in Ukraine in 1989, it was perfectly normal for police to cover up murders. Because what the fuck are you going to do about it? Oh, your friend disappeared? Oh, that's too bad. Oh, your friend who was speaking out against the government? He ended up dead? Oh, that's too bad. Maybe he keep his mouth shut next time. What? I mean, it's fuck him. No more Ukrainians. I'm sorry. If there's good ones out there, I'm sorry. This guy did you wrong. The borders are closed. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. I don't want any of these if they're like this, I don't want them in my country. Get the fuck out of here. And fuck you if you don't like it. This is supposed to be, at one point, the land of freedom. Like, we're supposed to have rights. Massachusetts is basically a communist country. We have no fucking rights here. There's no rights to ask people questions. You got to go in front of the fucking courthouse. I'm asking John DePetro questions. Am I going to go to jail over that? I don't fucking know. Maybe. Fuck that shit. Fuck this commie bullshit in this state. It's out of control. And fuck you if that offends you. Anyway, back to this. I just wanted to get that out of my system. Okay. 2530.
I was by myself.
Did you get the items evidence to Michael Proctor? His bag?
No, I did not.
Who did you give it to the bag?
I bagged it myself.
Whose handwriting is that?
I do not know.
If you bagged it yourself, why didn't you fill out the evidence envelope?
I bagged it and turned it over, and I told him exactly where it was and what time. So someone else wrote the information.
You just said it like that.
This is crazy. So he bagged, he's showing the chain of custody issues now. So he took all this evidence, puts it in a bag. Okay, who wrote this? Who'd you give it to? He can't even fucking say. He can't say.
And told him.
Turned it over.
No, sir. No, sir. What you just said was I bagged it and turned it over to him. And you don't know who it is that you turned it over to? Who's the him?
Turned it over to them. Them.
Okay.
Whoever wrote it. Whoever wrote it.
So we're just in a circle here. We can turn the lights off to the commentary.
So, Mr. Jackson, no comments, okay? Just
Understood.
questions.
I apologize. Ignore my last comment. You have items of evidence that you already described as being incredibly important, correct?
Those are your words. I actually changed. I said every piece of evidence is important.
Okay. Since this is part of every piece of evidence, do you think this evidence was important?
Every piece of evidence is important.
So was this evidence important? Yes or no?
Yes.
So you had the evidence.
Important evidence.
Someone whom you
Who?
don't know and can't identify.
Who'd you hand it over to?
It was a member of the Massachusetts State Police assigned to our office. It wasn't just
Okay.
a random person. I can't specifically identify who it was or who wrote on that bag. I know it was a trusted member of our unit and part of the investigative team.
How do you know it was a trusted member of your unit and a part of the investigative team if you can't tell these jurors who it was? How do you know that?
Because I wouldn't have turned it over to a random stranger.
Okay, so let's figure out the possibilities. Who are among those to whom you would turn this stuff over? Who are among them?
There was 4 troopers in the detective unit at that point assigned to homicide.
Let's name them. Who are they?
It was Trooper DeChico, Trooper Kakowski, Trooper Dunn, and Trooper Mike Proctor.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah. So which one? Which one did you hand it over to? Who? Why can't you answer this question?
Do you believe or do you recall turning it over to Trooper Dunn?
Objection.
We're going to go through each person?
Everyone. There's only 4.
I'll allow this.
I like how she asked that. Like, are you going to go through this? Of course I'm going to fucking go through it. She acts like it's like a big, I'm allowing you to do it. You're going to go through it? Yeah, because this guy won't give a fucking answer. Why don't you, if you would just instruct the witness to give a fucking answer and stop being such an evasive prick, then I wouldn't have to waste your time with this. But he wants to do it the hard way like a fucking child.
This question. Do you remember turning it over to Trooper Dunn?
No.
You remember turning it over to Trooper Bukhenik?
No.
You remember turning it over to Trooper DeChico?
No.
You remember turning it over to Michael Proctor?
No.
So it might have been just a random stranger.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so those are all the people you work with. Do you remember handing it over to any of those people? No. So was it a random stranger? And this is what he says.
That's a ridiculous suggestion.
It's a ridiculous answer. Oh my God. Like, ugh, fucking ridiculous. Okay. Let's talk about Taillight he finds. 51-minute mark.
Material that he indicated.
So again, the big issue with the taillight, we've been over this a bunch of times. The biggest pieces of taillight are found on February 18th by Michael Proctor. He doesn't document it. He doesn't say where they were. He doesn't take pictures of it. He just puts it into evidence on February 18th. And he's like, I found it on this date. Okay. Sure he did. The Czechoslovakia piece that would have like that part was clearly on when she leaves at 5:07. And so that's what he's going to talk about here.
He recovered as late as February 18th, 2022, correct?
I am aware that there was items recovered on February 18th. I am not sure exactly if it was him or someone else that recovered it.
You indicated, I think, a direct examination yesterday that as of February 3rd or February 4th, the weather had broken. Generally, correct? It was getting warmer.
Yes, the weather was warmer. There were rainy days following the 3rd, I believe. No, the 4th. The 4th it was raining when I picked up that piece of evidence. So yeah, the weather had warmed up.
So it was raining and somewhat storming on the 4th?
There was precipitation when I recovered that item. I mean, I don't know if it was storming. There was a low pressure cell coming through. I have no idea.
Okay, but that's the same day that
Berkowitz.
we're told that Chief Berkowitz was driving by and saw the crash.
In the rain.
The day I picked up the single piece with Can PD present, it was raining.
So he would have been driving by, windows up, water on the windows, in the rain, and saw the you indicated that on February 10th.
Why is that sustained?
Your final visit, major final visit to 34 Fairview, you indicated yesterday on testimony that there's very little stuff still present, correct?
That's correct.
February. Okay, so on February 10th, there is very little snow left because it was unseasonably warm there for a while. So there's no more. The taillight can't hide. They want us to believe that the taillight was hiding under the snow this whole time. Ooh, you missed me, motherfucker. Surprise, in a 50 square foot area, which is 7 by 7. There's missed it all. But now, by February 10th, there's no more snow. So where the fuck is the taillight hiding? There should be, if the snow is all gone by February 10th, there should be nothing recovered after that, right? Look at his face. So he's got to look at his report. Yep.
One's an evidence bag with some. On the bag, the date is 2/11/22. On the sticker, there's another date. There's a sticker March 9th of 22. There's also a date at the.
I'm just interested in this page. Just general. I need a market graphics. What's the second page look like?
Second page is a large piece of red and black taillight plastic
So that's
cover.
February 11th.
Identified by a lab number, I believe.
Who found it?
Graph of a piece recovered. I don't know.
I'd like to have Mark and introduce this next one, A and B.
Is there any objection from the Commonwealth?
You want to request to publish?
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So here's
Take a
the.
look at this.
Where's the date on this? This is February 17th. Is that right? Oh, 2023. The fuck? Okay.
Can you describe for the jurors what they're looking at, please?
Oh, so there's 2/11/22. 3 pieces. Collected by Trooper Proctor. Okay. This is a day after Yuri testified that snow was all melted.
This is an evidence bag. It is labeled with case number, date collected, time, who collected it, description of items enclosed, the location it was recovered, and the victim's full name. It also has a to scale ruler for the photograph and some identifying marks from the laboratory.
Can you indicate for the jurors?
I hope he does too.
Collected this item according to the evidence bag.
According to this evidence bag, it was collected by Trooper Proctor.
Oh.
And can you show the date or tell the jurors the date that it indicates the item was collected or items were collected?
I believe it says 2/11/22.
February 11th. So that would be the day after you were at the location, correct?
It
Yes.
would be the day after, yes.
Can we have the full screen, Mr. Wolf?
And you
You
just
see the designation at the bottom beneath the measuring ruler.
Yes, I do, yes.
Is there a case number or case designator starting with 22?
Yes, I believe. I'm not sure, but I believe it's a LIMS number 22-02184.
And do you see an item number listed right next to that case number?
Yes, this indicates it's 7-15.
And there's another set of initials beneath that. It appears correct.
That's what. I mean, there's letters. I don't know if there's someone's initials. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Fair
yeah.
enough. This appears to be something that was filled out by crime lab. The black lettering and number, correct?
I would assume. I don't know for sure, though.
Okay. And obviously, there's a date down here, 2/17/23, a year later, correct?
Yes.
And it says Canton at the bottom.
Yes.
If we can have the full screen, please. Okay. You also indicated that there was a label up at the top, correct?
All right. So then we go on to the biggest piece. So remember this piece? This is what he finds he finds 2 gigantic pieces on February 18th. The biggest motherfuckers. This one and the Czechoslovakia motherfucker. Where's that one? That appears this one. Look at that thing. That thing is 8 fucking inches. It was found on February 18th. Are you kidding me? What do you say? What do you got to say about this one, Bukaki? Let's see.
Inches, I guess.
Okay. And then the next page, please. The final page could be sub C. Do you see the same designator on the bottom right?
Yes, I do.
That's 716, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Appears to be out of the same evidence envelope, is that right?
That's what's suggested, yes.
And how long would you estimate this item to be?
7.5, 8 inches.
And maybe, what, 3 inches tall? 4?
Yeah, 3.
Okay, we can have the lights up here with the court's permission.
He wants us to believe that.
Again, the last time you were out at the location with very little snow on the ground, you collected certain items of evidence on February 10th, correct?
February 10th was the last time I collected. I said there was still snow on the ground, maybe in piles where it was excavated. It was very little, but there was still snow on the ground.
You indicated that you obviously looked around the area. You talked about the general area. I think you used the word general vicinity, right? When you
Yes.
collected your items.
Yes.
You didn't see this, and you didn't see the one before either, did
You
you?
didn't see it.
If I saw any of these items, they would have been collected. We did not excavate anything. We simply allowed the thawing and natural recession of the snow to reveal additional items.
But you said that the snow had all melted by February 10th when you were there. Oh, but no, we excavated the snow over here and it was actually under that the whole time. But wait a minute, you said it was all in a 50 square foot area. Imagine believing Karen Reed wasn't framed. Imagine how retarded you have to be to believe that Karen Reed wasn't framed. And enough of these fucking half-ass fence sitters too that are like, well, I don't believe there's enough evidence to convict her of running him over, but I'm not convinced she was framed. You motherfucker, you're worse than the other people. Of course, then if you're not convinced she did it, then why the fuck is there all this taillight there? And why are these guys finding it so much? The taillight was planted. That's framing. This proves it. And honestly, the taillight wasn't even all planted. The February 18th stint, that was never there at all. Proctor just put that in a fucking bag and said February 18th. That's it. He didn't even have to go there and plant it. He didn't. If he did, he would have taken a fucking picture of it. He didn't do it. He just threw it in a fucking bag. And he's like, oh yeah, I found this at the scene today. But fuck it, bro. Do you even frame? Just do it all on the same day. Fucking retarded. You didn't even need that much taillight. Just a little taillight will do.
When you were there on the 3rd, February 3rd, there was still some snow on the ground, but you did excavate, correct?
Yes, there was a lot of snow on the ground. Yes.
By February 4th, that snow was dissipating some, correct?
It was, yes.
You were excavating through that as well.
On the 4th? No, we did not excavate on the 4th. The item revealed itself, and I collected it.
That was it. Okay, fair enough. Then on the 10th, you didn't need to do any more excavating because there was, quote unquote, in your words, very little snow. Very little. Right.
Those were my words. Compared to the first day, there was very little snow on the ground.
And in fact, you did not see any of the items that were collected or claimed to have been collected at 34 Fairview by Michael Proctor on February 11th, the day after you were there, correct? Did not see that item?
Did not see that item, no.
And did not see any of the items that you've seen that were claimed to have been collected by Michael Proctor on February 18th, a week later, correct?
Those items were not observed by me, or else I would have collected them.
Okay. Exactly. Point made. Point made. All right, next up. Now we get into the Higgins shit. Okay. What are we at? We're not going to listen to all the messages. Don't worry. The Higgins shit, besides being cringe, is extremely flirtatious, right? They're flirting in the most awkward and cringe way possible. I'm sure Karen Reed is sufficiently humiliated by her messages in there. It's gotta be humiliating to have those read out loud. It doesn't make either of them look like bad people, but god damn, it's awkward. God damn, it's fucking awkward. And but you would definitely describe it as flirtatious, unless you're this clown.
Yes.
Would you describe the text messages between Brian Higgins and Karen Reed that he presented to you as flirtatious in nature?
Without having recently reviewed them in detail, I don't want to label it something without having complete understanding of the content. I'm not comfortable putting a label on something.
Well, how would you describe them? I mean, was it?
Why won't he just say yes? Why not just say
these
yes?
were friendly communications. I don't want to put a label on it. There were communications between acquaintances or people that know each other. There was text message communication. As far as flirtatious, I would have to take a look at the content of it for certain terms that would support that label.
Well, there was.
So he wanted to do it the hard way, huh? You want to read all the messages. Because I see what they're doing here. When they first started doing this, I'm like, why are they doing this with the Higgins messages now? And it's like, oh, I see. He's just setting a theme here of you didn't properly investigate other possible suspects. And you were given a shitload of text messages that were flirtatious. Well, it could lead to jealousy. That could lead to a variety of things. And that's, that are often motives for murder, or not just murder, but motives for not liking a guy or cause of issues between two people. Who knows? Right. But he doesn't want to admit they're flirtatious because then that's a potential motive for Brian Higgins that he didn't look into. So he can't admit they are flirtatious.
Do you remember a text message exchange about a kiss that we shared? Objection. Sustained. Do you remember any text message between the two of them that suggested a romantic interest? Either one of them may have.
I'll be right back. I got to take a leak.
May we approach her? Yes.
All right, fan break's over. Okay. So I'm not going to put you through listening to his messages. We're not doing that. It's fucking horrible. It accomplishes nothing. We know what's in them. Karen Reed was obviously, I don't want to be a therapist or anything like that, but it appears as if she was, wanted to feel better about herself, I guess, and was feeling something missing from her relationship with John, was frustrated with, I mean, it's so minor, this shit. It's not like these are like huge issues, but John was, a lot of girls wanted John, and just, she felt like it's like, this is, she wasn't enthused about the relationship. She was, at the same time, she wasn't like, I fucking hate John or anything like that, but it was, a lot of people are in relationships like that, right? She wanted to feel pretty, as women often do. They just want to feel pretty. And, Brian Higgins, even though he's a big fat guy, he made her feel pretty, he was doing the things that John wasn't doing, right? Making her feel good about herself, telling her that he thinks she's hot. It's probably been a while since John told Karen that she was hot, right? So now she's like, like it felt good. She was using him to feel better about herself. Big deal. That's all. That's all that was. And he's too fucking stupid to realize that. He's just like fallen, like fucking moron. He thought they were gonna like live happily ever after or some shit. Like he was just like not getting it. And like he had so many opportunities there to get it in. Like, or at least try. Like, see if she's down for that. Like, is she down to fuck or not? Because, like, what is the whole thing going on here? And, like, honestly, what kind of friend is this, too, to do this to John? Like, that's your homie? And you're out here talking to his girlfriend like this? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, he's out here. He was trying to suss it out, which is so fucking stupid. Either fucking get laid or don't. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Trying to build a serious relationship? What are you doing? What's going on here, pal? Anyway, so that's the messages. So we listen to those for hours, and then we'd come to go to the lunch break, and then this is what happens when we get back. Okay. What did Bukhenik think about those messages?
All right, Mr. Jackson, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sergeant, you had an opportunity, obviously, you read them, so now you familiarize yourself with that series of text messages that you received from Brian Higgins, correct?
Yes.
Would you, I'm going to ask you the same question again. Would you consider those text messages, as you reviewed them when you received them from Brian Higgins, as being flirtatious or romantic in nature?
I would not categorize them to that extent. Certain parts.
Oh, my fucking God. He wouldn't call that flirtatious? Do you think I'm hot? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you want to come over? You like that? That's not flirtatious? Okay, sure thing.
Parts of it might be, but the total conversation, if you want my opinion, I can provide you with it.
Was there some flirtation in the text messages that you noted?
There are terms that I used. You're hot, witty, stuff like that. Talking about banging and hooking up.
Banging?
What word would you use to describe them if not flirtatious?
The totality of the conversation?
Sure.
My opinion is that it's a angry girlfriend trying to set up a hookup to her John.
Like, imagine that. Imagine, like, the therapist Yuri. I mean, tell me you can't find the clitoris more than you can right now after saying that. Tell me you know nothing about women without telling me that you know nothing about women. If you took that as she's an angry girlfriend. I mean, this is why they don't have, it's like, how do they not have any women working in this office? It shows with answers like that. If you think that, again, this is his Dr. Phil analysis of it.
What word would you use to describe them if not flirtatious?
The totality of the conversation?
Sure.
My opinion is that it's a angry girlfriend trying to set up a hookup to her John.
An angry girlfriend trying to set up a hookup to hurt John. Imagine reading all of those messages, and that is your honest analysis of them. An angry girlfriend looking to hook up to hurt John. First of all, if she wanted to hook up with someone to hurt John, she's a good looking woman. She doesn't need to be Higgins. She could fuck anyone she wants, right? It's not going to be Higgins, and she didn't fuck him. So then how was she trying to hurt him? Where did she say, oh, I'm going to fucking get, like, I don't even know what to say to this motherfucker. This is why they need women working in this office, because no woman would have that analysis of it. I don't know if this is actually his analysis, because again, this guy's just covering up his shit. He's just covering up for the fact that he didn't do a proper investigation or treat Higgins like a potential suspect. He's like, oh no, I read those right away and knew that, oh yeah, Higgins is clean. Oh, right. Right.
To her jump?
To her John.
To her John.
Yeah.
Would you consider the responses from Brian Higgins to be flirtatious in nature?
There are conversation parts that are enticing, maybe a little of advances, but the totality of, to put a label on the whole thing, my opinion is that she's trying to get revenge.
She's trying to get revenge. I just don't even know what to say to that. Does he believe that? Do you guys think he believes that? He can't be this out of touch with women. There's no way anyone could read those. Any man who's ever been in, he's married. You know what I mean? He's fucking married. He deals with a woman every day. There's no way he has, like, any married man knows how this shit works. I don't believe for a second that if he honestly believes this, holy fucking shit, this man is just lost when he's in search for the clitoris. Like, there's no other way around it.
Revenge.
Yes, get revenge.
On John.
Yeah.
For what happened on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Okay. When you say revenge, you don't mean physical revenge.
Well, emotional revenge. She's trying to hook up with Higgins and then hurt John by cheating on him.
And in fact, you did note that John Bukhenik was not privy to these texts, right?
Okay.
I'll allow that. Do you know that?
I
do not, Your Honor. No.
He's not on the text, is he?
I don't know if their accounts are synced at this point. I don't know if he's seen them. I don't know.
He's not, his phone, you know what his phone number is. You guys got his phone, right?
We do have his device, yes.
Do you have any evidence that his account is somehow suddenly not synced with Kearney's account?
Not from his device, no, but he could have seen the text message.
Okay, so there's no evidence that he was synced. His account was synced with anything, correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
There's no evidence-
You were facing the other way. I didn't hear.
There's no evidence that his account was synced with anything.
Not his device that we have, no.
And you don't have, as you sit here, you don't have any evidence whatsoever that he saw any of those text messages, correct?
We don't have that, but I do not know.
Okay, so as you sit here, my question is very simple. Do you have evidence, affirmative evidence, that John O'Keefe ever saw these text messages?
I do not have evidence that he saw them, no.
So would you agree that the text messages show a romantic interest, for whatever motivation, a romantic interest from Brian Higgins toward Ms. Reed?
That's such an easy answer. He calls her hot. Like, oh, you want to hook up with me? Like, there's nothing in there. This is such an easy yes. And he can't admit it, because doing so would be admitting that he should have treated Higgins at the least as a potential suspect. I mean, what was he doing? I guess my next question would be, Sergeant Bukhenik, are you saying under oath right now that you believe Brian Higgins is a homosexual? Because that's the only other possible way you can interpret those messages, is that motherfucker is what we call the gay best friend. That just, oh yeah, tell me all your I don't want to fuck you, but tell me all your problems and I will listen, girl. And I will be the sounding board, but I don't need a blowjob out of this because I'm homosexual. Like, that is the only other alternative to Brian Higgins. If he wasn't trying to fuck her, then he's gay. Okay? That would be my next question. Are you calling Brian Higgins a homosexual? Yes or no?
I have to ask that differently.
That's what I would ask.
As you
Ask
read
it
the text
different.
messages,
Not a problem.
Did you determine in your head that there was a romantic interest by Brian Higgins toward Karen Reed?
In my mind, I saw the text messages for what they were, initiated by Karen Reed. And
for fuck's sake. Okay. I can't even deal with this anymore. Next topic. Okay. Next one up. We got 523, the Higgins phone call. You'd think that he would investigate those phone calls, right? That 222 butt dial. What do you think of that there, pal? What's up with that phone call? That's that different.
Sure. Sergeant Bukhenik, did you become aware during the course of your investigation, then I'll narrow the time frame, during the course of your investigation, that there were calls between Brian Higgins and Brian Albert at approximately 2:22 a.m. on the 29th?
During the course of my investigation, I was not aware of that. If you have a document that I can see, I can tell you if I've ever seen it before.
Did you see?
What? That is the most obvious lie I've ever heard. That he's unfamiliar with the 222 butt dials. Everybody in the world knows about the 222 butt dials, except for Bukhenik. He's the only one that this is the first time I'm hearing about the butt dials. Dude, that's like the most famous thing that came out of the last trials, the fucking butt dials. It's like the first thing everybody brings up is the butt dials at 6:22, and the butt answers while he's having sex. The only person who just completely never heard of this before is the detective who did 49% of the work.
To secure Brian Albert's cell phone to determine what calls he did and didn't make on January 29th or January 28th?
No, we did not.
Okay. Would, in your experience, would a phone extraction, a cell phone extraction of Brian Albert's phone have revealed calls made and received in the time frame that we're talking about, the 28th and the 29th of January 2022?
Yes.
If a phone is extracted, the records of phone calls being made and received would show those records.
What a generic fucking answer. He's like, would Brian Albert's phone show that phone call happen? The answer is yes. And don't tell me this motherfucker doesn't know about the 222 phone call. And yeah, you're right. Your phone records would show, what did he say? The phone records would show what?
Time frame that we're talking about, the 28th and the 29th of January 2022.
If a phone is extracted, the records of phone calls being made and received would show those records.
What about Jennifer McCabe's phone? Is that, so that's good to know. So a phone extraction that shows all the records of the phones would show all the phone calls made, except for Jennifer McCabe. And none of those are actual phone. Oh, they're butt dials. They're all butt dials, she thinks. Even the ones that say answered. Right.
You did receive information from Brian Higgins' phone, specifically the texts that he claimed he pulled off of his phone and gave to you, correct?
We received text messages that I read today that Brian Higgins provided from his phone.
Did you seek to secure his actual phone for a forensic download or forensic mirror image to get the actual calls made and received, or text messages made and received from his phone?
No, but the feds did. The feds did. The feds did. Sure, they did. You guys didn't, but the feds did. They did it for you. And boy, was that a little bit incriminating.
While at Kenton PD on the night or the early morning hours of January 29th, 2022.
We never sought to get Brian Higgins' phone. He was not.
Hold on. I was
investigating at 1:35 a.m. while at Kenton Police Department.
I am not aware of that, no.
So you did nothing in terms of investigating any phone call that Brian Higgins did or didn't make while at Kenton PD on the night or the early morning hours of January 29th, 2022.
We never sought to get Brian Higgins' phone. He was not looked at as a individual that we would need to get his information.
And there it is. And therein lies the problem. We never tried to get Brian Higgins' phone because we didn't treat him as a potential suspect. Alan Jackson did this brilliantly. And I'm sure it just wasn't him, his whole defense team. I'm sure it came up with this plan, but like, how are we going to get this guy? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to play. We're going to show all the text messages, every single one, read them all out. And we're going to ask him, had you read these before? Oh yeah. He showed it to us from real early. Okay. So you were aware of all this and I knew where he was going. The next is the Waterfall video. And did you watch that? Were you aware of that? Okay. So you were aware of all this and you didn't ask for his phone. Okay.
For any reason at that point.
Even after you received and read all of those text messages between him and Karen Reed.
Correct.
Even
and
after
of the timeline we just walked through, starting on January 23rd, going all the way into January 28th and into January 29th. You did nothing to investigate that.
We had the information that we had. We did not need to get his phone.
We did not.
The
We,
information that you had
what was
from
it?
Brian Higgins himself, not from a forensic extraction, correct?
The
Yes.
extraction that Brian Higgins provided was a forensic extraction of his communications with Mr. O'Keefe and Karen Reed. We had Mr. O'Keefe's phone and we had Karen Reed's phone, so we can verify and confirm that those text message communications were accurate, unredacted, not deleted, and were true representation of what their communications consisted of.
And that was a representation made by whom?
The totality of it.
That was a representation made by whom? Person made
Brian
the representation
Higgins.
that was fair and accurate.
I know that one. Brian
It
Higgins.
wasn't a person, it was the extractions between the three devices.
Well, an extraction that you were handed on a device by someone.
Again, I didn't have that option. I didn't know that. The police just took my phones. I didn't get to be like, yo, why don't I just give you, here's all of my communications with Karen Reed. That's what you guys want, right? Okay. Give me 1 minute. I got to go down to, go visit my buddy Matt Kelch, and we're going to use the machine, the government machine, to extract just the messages with Karen Reed. And then I will hand those over to you, and you will have to trust that you got all of them. Trust me, bro.
No, I said that we had all three devices. And as I told Mr. Higgins in our interview together, I said, Brian, we have those two devices.
Brian.
If you- correct.
Okay.
If there's anything deleted or altered in any way, we will have proof of it. So please make sure that you understand the magnitude of the situation. We're investigating a homicide.
Oh,
It
yeah.
needs to be accurate. And it
Very
was.
serious.
Trusted that coming from Brian Higgins rather than simply getting extraction from his phone. Correct? Yes.
I trusted him, yes, because we trust and verified. And after verifying, the extractions were correct.
And following that verification of the text messages, did that raise any suspicion in your mind about any possible motives Brian Higgins may have relative to John O'Keefe?
Suspicions of motives? Is that your question?
Correct.
No, the evidence spoke for itself.
No, there's no suspicions of motive. Bro, you have all these flirtatious text messages and a video of him at the waterfall yelling at shit. But there's no suspicion of motive whatsoever. At least he said it. At least he got that. Alan Jackson fucking milked this motherfucker. Oh, he dog walked a bitch, didn't he? He dog walked this little commie bastard. All right. Next up. This is probably the most important thing to come out of it.
Not the autopsy. I'm not a medical professional.
You didn't ask the doctors at the time you went and visited him and saw him in the hospital whether or not he had broken bones or fractures?
I don't believe they reported that.
And another factor that you considered was the fact that in the early morning hours of January 29th, 2022, around 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., there were no taillight pieces found at that location. Zero. Did you consider that?
At what point?
On January 29th, in say 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Consider that?
Once we learned that there was damage to the defendant's right rear taillight, I could only consider at that point.
It's a really simple question. Were you aware that there was no taillight found by the Canton police and Officer Gallagher, Lieutenant Gallagher, and his magical leaf blower that finds everything? Were you aware of that? This is what the case comes down to. The Canton police searched the area at 6 or 7 o'clock, and there was no taillight. Zero. State police searched it 11 hours later, and there was taillight. That was not there 11 hours earlier. The taillight was planted. It's it. It's it. It's fucking it. There was no taillight there, and then there was taillight there. That's it. She was framed. Karen Reed was framed, period.
I didn't know what I didn't know.
Right.
We don't know. We don't know. We work with the evidence that's presented, and we develop the investigation.
And the evidence that was presented at that time, Sergeant, was a leaf blower was used to search the area, the exact area that you described to this jury as being the area around fire hydrant, flagpole, where John's body was, and no taillight material was found at all.
None.
In the first searches.
None.
You're aware of that, yes or no?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, you're also aware that no taillight material was found until after
Here we go.
that SUV was in Massachusetts State Police custody and sitting at the Sally Port in Kent. Correct?
I believe the first
The answer
taillight
is-
piece was found after it was in our custody. I don't know the exact time. I'd have to see it.
That's it. That's the case right there. Beautifully done by Alan Jackson. There was no taillight there. Taillight, and then you guys took it into the Canton Police Sallyport, and then after that, taillight was found. Not before, after. There you go. So it could have been planted, right? By you guys? You guys could have planted that? Okay, cool. Now what about the snowbank?
I'm sorry. When you talked to
Higgins.
Brian Higgins, did you ask Brian Higgins about potentially seeing John's body when he left 34 Fairview and headed over to Canton PD?
Yes, I did.
You knew that at that time, say 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning, there was about 0.2 of an inch of dusting snow, correct? Very light.
At that point in time, there was a coating. I cannot speak to the amount of snow that was on the ground.
Brian Higgins told you from that interview that he didn't see the body because it was hidden by a snowbank.
Snowbank.
Did he say that to you?
I don't have memory of that, Your Honor.
Oh, you want to see the report? You want to see the report?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I got a report for that. Don't worry. I got a report. Like this guy wanted to play. Like he knows the answer to this. Does he think that like this delays it? That maybe he'll just get tired and he'll forget to ask me this question. Like he's not going to forget. Brian Higgins' story for why he didn't see John O'Keefe's body was that it was covered by a snowbank. There was less than an inch of snow that had fallen at 1:30 when he left. And there was certainly no snowbank because snowbanks come from when plows come by. And every New Englander knows that. So if the plow hadn't gone by yet and there was only less than an inch of snow, then there couldn't have been a snowbank hiding Brian Higgins a view of the body.
Take a look at page 3, the highlighted portion. Does that refresh your recollection that Brian Higgins said something about a snowbank at the time when he left 34 Fairview?
He stated the reason he did not pay attention to the grass is he was concerned with his snowplow in his vehicle.
Oh,
he was
right.
not paying attention to anything over the snowbank,
right,
just with the plow in front of him as he operated the vehicle.
And of course, you knew at the time, as a detective or investigator, you knew at the time that within dusting snow, there is no snowbank. Right.
He mentioned plowing the driveway for the Alberts before when he arrived. So there might have been coating and he was just plowing it and then creating a line. I cannot speak to how much snow was actually being plowed with the dusting that was on the ground. So there might have been a small snowbank. Again, he was referencing it.
There might have been a small snowbank. This motherfucker's up here saying this. There might have been a snowbank because he plowed the driveway, he said, which I'm sure he didn't fucking do either. He might have created a might have. Was it as big as a 220-pound man? Did it cover that up? I mean, are these people, do they think we're retarded? Yes, they think some of you are. Plevin, Krusty, those people. He knows they are retarded and that they'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. Fuck it. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
He was not paying attention to anything behind the snowbank. So
behind.
Yeah,
Sorry, you talked about the snowbank being in the lawn. No, right. That's what you're saying.
he said he was not paying attention to anything past the snowbank being the lawn.
And did not pay too much attention to the lawn area behind the snowbank.
Like the snowbank is the Great Wall of China or something. Like you can't see anything past it.
Right off to that area. Right.
There's no
Did that raise
snowbank.
any suspicions in your mind that Brian Higgins may have been being less than truthful with you?
Nah.
No.
Crack detectives, these guys are. Nothing gets by them. Again, this is how I know they're fucking covering shit up because he's not this stupid. I'm telling you, Bukaki is not this stupid. He ain't that smart, but like he ain't this stupid. He's just not. All right. Next one. Now we get to the Waterfall shit. Okay. And y'all know how I feel about this. If you've been watching for a while, I fucking hate. I love the defense, but I hate when they bring up the play fighting. I think that shit's retarded. But whatever, they're going to go with it. To me, that makes no sense. It's not a 5K. You don't need to warm up. If I think it's a bad, it's not selling. If you're saying that like Higgins and Albert were like practicing their fighting because they knew they were going to get in a fight when John came home, so they need to warm up and stretch first and shit like that. That's come on. I don't like that, but whatever. I was really more interested in Bukaki's response to it.
It's before some of those individuals left the bar and headed to 34 Fairview.
If we can push the runtime 16:35 1722 while you're queuing that up. Did you see, after I asked you the initial time?
Okay, so here they are. So this is the grab. Now we've reached the grab-assing portion of the night, which I guess shows that they're drunk and meatheads. So I'm glad they showed this, because this is like how this is not anything I can relate to. I have never been. Me and my friends don't do this when we go out. Sorry, we don't do this. I don't be like, hey guys, you guys want to go out and then grab ass at the bar at the end of the night? No, this is not how normal men behave of this age. These guys are in their 50s. And Brian Albert is bending Brian Higgins over and thrusting into him. Okay? This is not normal. But this is what Bukaki sees. What the fuck is this shit? The table's moving. The table's moving.
Yours, what you see Brian Albert and Brian Higgins doing in this footage?
Based on my understanding, it looks like he's giving the Heimlich maneuver or abdominal.
This motherfucker said the Heimlich maneuver. This mofo said the Heimlich maneuver. I mean, there's no fucking way the jury looking at that. Like, yeah, this cop's honest. That's his assessment of reading the messages. Were they flirtatious? No. Is this grab-assing? No, Heimlich. It's the Heimlich. He was choking on a friggin' pizza roll or some shit. What the fuck? Oh, my goodness gracious. All right. And now we get to the JFK portion of, and a microdots portion of the night. And I'm sure fucking James Jackson and JFK came in their pants when this happened. But in Alan Jackson played their video, okay, of the incident. All right. At the end of the night, everyone's packing up to leave. Higgins gets held back by Chicken Parm Charlie and Brian Albert. And he's yelling at John O'Keefe.
A little bit further, please.
Is it possible, with court permission, to zoom in on the upper portion of the video? You can center that just a little bit to the right. Other way. There we go. Thank you. And we go ahead and play that from 1915 to about 1957. Pause
there it is.
Do you recognize the three people center screen now?
I really can't make it out. I would have to be assuming.
You know who
guessing.
it is.
I can't make it out to identify each individual.
Let's play it forward if we can. One more time. At this point, go ahead and pause it. At this point, can you make out any individuals?
Yes. At this point, I can say that looks like Brian Higgins in the middle of the three gentlemen.
What is he wearing?
It looks like a hooded sweatshirt.
Okay. And the person to his, sorry, let's do it from your perspective, the juror's perspective. The person to the left of Brian Higgins.
Now, keep in mind some perspective with this. This is 11:57. At 11:32, he texted Karen Reed at the bar where she was feet away from him. Well, he could have just gone up and talked to her, but he didn't want to do that because he was keeping it a secret from John O'Keefe. He didn't want to do it in front of John because his girl's right there. So he's secretly texting her and having his little moment with her. And she didn't respond back. And she's like, fuck this guy. I'm the gay best friend. I've been doing all the legwork around in this relationship. John has been out chasing tail and getting drunk and doing his thing. And everybody wants John O'Keefe because he's tall, handsome, and he's a cop and he's adopted these kids and he's the prince of kin. When is Higgins' time to shine? When is my time to shine? Okay? I'm fucking ATF, goddammit. I'm a federal fucking agent. All right? I can drink whiskey and ginger like it's going out of style. And everybody wants this motherfucker, this clown ass bitch. He's BPD, big fucking deal. Come talk to me when you're ATF. That's how he feels right now. He's like, this motherfucker, he's wasted. I mean, look how these guys are wasted. When they were grab assing before, they backed into the fucking table. The table started moving. That's really wasted. And he's being held. He looks shit-faced here. Look how drunk he looks.
So look at this shit.
In the middle of the three gentlemen.
What is he wearing?
It looks like a hooded sweatshirt.
Okay. And the person to his, sorry, let's do it from your perspective, the juror's perspective. The person to the left of Brian Higgins.
I believe that's Brian Albert.
And the person to the right of Brian Higgins.
Shake your palm,
right
Charlie.
From my perspective?
Yes, sir.
I believe that's Chris Albert, but I'm not positive. I'm not positive.
Look at him. Look at him. See, he looks fucking drunk there. Like he's just like you ever have that uncontrollable drunk friend who won't shut the fuck up? Yo, Keith, fuck you, motherfucker. Oh, I was gonna say this earlier, but now I grew a set of balls because I've kept drinking, and now I'm gonna yell some shit in your direction. And he's got to get held back by his boys.
Stop. Did you see Brian Higgins just do something?
I was not paying attention to his gesture. We have to replay that, please.
Does it appear he's looking in a particular direction?
He is looking in a particular direction based on that frame, yes.
Is that toward the bar area?
It's in that direction. I don't know exactly where he's looking, whether he's looking at the bar, to the right of the bar. I can't tell from this.
Okay. And John O'Keefe, you indicated earlier that John O'Keefe, that's where you saw him most of the video, toward the bar area, to the right of the bar.
If you scroll to push the screen to the right, I can tell you where Mr. O'Keefe is.
With court permission?
Yes.
Do you see Mr. O'Keefe in that group of people?
I cannot make him out. Could you play the video? Maybe he is behind an individual.
Let's go back to, with the court permission, I'd like to go back to the full video. And let's play it from here.
So they're all walking out. Again, everybody's walking out. He can walk out too. Just walk out. Everybody's drunk walking out. But no, he's got unresolved issues. And Chris knows this. Chris knows there's issues here. Because Chris holds him back. Nah, I don't fuck with O'Keefe. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, come. Look at him. He's pissed. Dude, he's shouting.
Could you see what was happening with Brian Higgins?
He was gesturing to someone. I was trying to see Mr. O'Keefe. We were talking about Mr. O'Keefe, so I apologize.
Understood. With the court permission, can I play the video one more time with it focused on the other side of the bar?
Okay.
Thank you. Last time.
Can you tell me who to focus on, please,
Yes.
so I'm not looking for the wrong person?
Sure. Pause it. Do you see John O'Keefe there?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Can you point to where he is for the jurors, please, on both televisions?
Mr. O'Keefe is right there wearing the sweatshirt, multi-tone gray sweatshirt with the hood on it and his hat.
And
this
the TV?
right there. He appears to be at the bar paying the bill.
Okay. With this perspective, could we just go ahead and play that 30 or 45 seconds one more time?
So I'm just going to read this message to you. I want to read this because I've never shared this before. I can't access this because it's on my Clarence Woods Emerson account. But luckily, I took a screenshot of this message because I thought it was kind of interesting. So let me go my messages here. I received this message in my Facebook inbox on April 24th. Okay. Let me get it for you. Let me retrieve this shit. April 24th. Okay. Okay. So this is a woman whose boyfriend apparently lived with Brian Higgins. Or no, I apologize. Brian Higgins, I don't know if they lived together, but Brian Higgins had come back to the house with them after a night of drinking. And Higgins is friends with her boyfriend at the time. And this is what happened, according to this woman. My boyfriend and I were in the master bedroom. It had a master bathroom in it, but also has access to the bathroom from the hall. This is the second floor of the house. Higgins entered the bathroom from the hallway. We had the door closed on our end, meaning the door into the master bedroom from the bathroom. He cracked the door open and watched us have sex. He told my boyfriend later, like he was in some kind of boys club, and thought it would be cool to tell my boyfriend that he saw his great moves. Higgins hangs out with the higher ranking people thinking it makes him cool or one of them. My boyfriend was not happy with Higgins. So this is a woman who reached out to me. It's a source. She confirmed. I asked her to confirm this. She could confirm that she does know Brian Higgins. That she was, this is how creepy Brian Higgins is. And this is why he doesn't mind trying to bang Kara Reed. He watched this. She said this wasn't that. This was a few years ago. She said that she was fucking her boyfriend and he watched through the bathroom door and then told the boyfriend that he watched. That's how creepy Brian fucking Higgins is when he gets a couple Jameson and Gingers in him. I've heard horror stories about Brian Higgins. Like, what a fucking pervert he is. Like, dude. Oh, such a fucking creepy dude.
And please focus on Mr. O'Keefe.
Now watch this. There's John O'Keefe right there. Watch him. Signing the check. He's like, this fat guy's yelling at him. And he's like, oh, he sees Higgins going nuts. He thinks it's funny. He laughs.
Do you see where Mr. O'Keefe is looking at this point?
Yes.
He's like, this motherfucker wants to dance.
Well, from this vantage point, it looks like he's looking to the left on the screen at the individual he appears to be conversing with.
Okay, go ahead and play it. Pause it.
He's yelling shit right back at him.
Same individual.
Okay.
He's still engaged in conversation.
Pause it. And what about now?
He's taking a sip of beer.
Right. Which direction is he looking?
In the same direction.
Okay. Go ahead and play it.
Dancing. He's like, oh, he wants to. This guy's starting shit, huh? Look at this. You want some? You want some? You can get some. He's taunting him. He's taunting him. He's not impressed by Higgins' bullshit. Higgins is over there yelling at him. And he's like, oh, you want to get some? Oh, starts dancing around. This motherfucker wants to get some, huh? AKA, if you start a fight with him, he's going to hit you back, which is why he's got fucking black and blue on his hands. Because he got his hits in too, didn't he? But Brian Albert was not going to let his homie, Brian Higgins, get beat up in his house, was he? And Chloe definitely ain't going to allow that to happen. And Colin ain't either.
Got to the full screen. At this point, does it appear in the video that Brian Higgins, Brian Albert, Chris Albert have all left the bar?
There's someone standing across the table from Mr. O'Keefe to his rear. I don't know who that is, so I can't testify to that. The others have left.
Given this perspective, now that we've seen both of them zoomed, do you have an opinion as to whether or not it appeared that Mr. Higgins was gesturing toward John O'Keefe before he left the bar?
He was.
Given this perspective, he might have been. I don't know who he was gesturing at.
Might have been.
We can have the lights up. Take that down.
All right.
I want to change gears for a second.
So he's seen all this. He saw it all. And he didn't treat him as a potential suspect. Now we do the Chevy Traverse. We're almost done. All right. So here we go. Karen is backing out. This is a simple yes answer. He answered this question at the last trial. The answer is yes. The car moves after he hits it. It's really simple.
Go ahead, Blake.
After she hits it. Look at that. Oh, it moved.
Did you see anything happen with the the left rear tire of the other car in the driveway?
Which car? You talking about?
The highlighted portion, the parked car, which is the left rear tire that's zoomed in on.
I wasn't paying attention to the tire. Can you play it again, please?
With the court's permission? Let's try that one more time.
This delaying motherfucker. You weren't paying it. You know the answer to this. And look how little snow is there. There it is.
Pause it. Okay, you can take that down. Did you see anything happen with that left rear tire of the Chevy Traverse?
Based on that video, it appears there might have been movement there.
Last year, and you've seen this video several times.
Might
correct?
have.
I have.
You saw it during the course of your investigation, not just in the course of proceedings, correct?
Right.
Last year, you indicated that you observed the vehicle, Ms. Reed's vehicle, come near Mr. O'Keefe's car. Which one in that video was Mr. O'Keefe's car?
The Chevy Traverse.
And that would be the car that was parked and static, not moving, correct?
Correct.
Having seen this, do you still believe that the SUV came near the Chevy Traverse, or do you believe it struck the Chevy Traverse?
With the clarity of that video, there is a lot of movement in the shot. Not with great certainty. It appeared that there was movement of the tire, but I cannot say with 100% certainty there was movement.
You can't say with 100% certainty that that tire literally shifted and wiggled upon some sort of impact.
Based on the video, it appeared to have been movement.
Okay. You had this video.
Like how does this look to the jury that this is a detective and he just can't admit what they all just saw? They saw it move, and this guy's up here being like, he just can't say it. And it's like, this is why he's been a disaster. And Hank has to know what a fucking disaster this was. There is no way they will ever convict her after this. Like this guy, this smug, look at that face. Arrogant fuck who just lies and doesn't do anything. And it's like they have to see this. There is no way 12 will ever convict. Ever.
Or the first 3 years of your investigation, you had this video very early on, correct?
That's correct.
Did you
And
look?
for the first several years of your investigation, did you either deny, well, let me ask it this way. Was it your assessment that the SUV did not contact that Chevy Traverse?
My assessment with the totality of it all.
Oh, yeah.
Based on the video, there was no damage that occurred to either vehicle at that point in time.
That wasn't my question.
How does he know if there's damage?
Sergeant, my question was your assessment that there was no contact between the two vehicles? Is that what you assessed in the course of your investigation?
The answer is
I did not assess that there was no contact, no.
Even as recently as last year, you testified in another proceeding that the SUV came close to the Chevy Traverse, correct?
Yes, I said there's a lot of movement in that shot. It's difficult to tell if there was more for me to observe and push that certainty level up. I would have testified differently.
As you've seen the video enhanced, zoomed in on, do you wish to amend that testimony from last year?
Ask a different question.
Sure. Given what you've just seen, what is your testimony now about whether or not that SUV struck the Chevy Traverse?
There is movement of the tire.
There we go. That's not that fucking hard, but he can't admit. He can't admit that.
There was movement
of the tire.
Why was there movement of the tire? Why?
Someone standing there pushing the car.
Why?
I'm asking you based on what you just saw.
Why was there movement of the tire?
Do you believe that the SUV struck the Chevy Traverse?
Logically speaking, the two vehicles had to have come into contact for the tire to move.
Oh, logically. So, you know, could crack a taillight potentially. Okay. Then we do Chloe or Cora, whatever the fuck they call her. I don't care. It's always Chloe to me.
I think I forgot where I left off. May I, Your Honor? Thank you. Sergeant, at some point during the course of your investigation, did you learn that the Albert family had gotten rid of the dog named Chloe?
We learned that they no longer care for the dog. I don't know if get rid of is accurate.
Well, they don't have it anymore, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what would you call it?
Giving it up for adoption, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a pet owner.
What if they
Adoption?
didn't give it up for adoption?
I'm sorry?
What if they didn't give it up for adoption?
Rehomed, I guess.
Okay, so it's no longer with them, right?
Correct. They no longer own the dog.
Okay, so they got rid of it. It's like you get rid of a car, right? Right?
You can get rid of a car, yeah.
Okay, and you can get rid of a dog. So I'm asking.
They got
Yes, you
rid
can
of the
get rid of
dog.
Okay. At some point during the course of your investigation, did you find out that the Albert family got rid of Chloe?
We learned that they no longer own Chloe, yes.
Okay, when did you learn that?
Look at that face. When? Oh my God. Does he think this helps?
I cannot tell you exactly. I can tell you when we looked into it officially.
When did you look into it officially?
I traveled to the dog's home and assisted with identifying the dog and investigating that animal.
Okay.
Oh, so Bukaki went and identified. What did you do to identify it? Where was this? What town was this in? I have so many questions. By the way, Nicole Albert said at the last trial that she met someone halfway and gave the dog that way to them. We don't know who this is, what town they were in, but she met him halfway and they did that. And now we've heard that's actually different. It was actually rehomed again. Because there was like, what?
What documentation did you use to identify that animal?
It was veterinary records.
I don't stop there. Veterinary records from the Albert family?
I did not get any veterinary records from the Albert family.
Oh,
Veterinary records that you did get were veterinary records that had been utilized with the Albert name. Where were these veterinary records?
The veterinary records were with the vet that's caring for the dog and also owns the dog now.
Okay.
And those records also had been dated prior to when the dog was owned by the Alberts.
Okay. So other than some veterinary records that, and by the way, the dog's not even named Chloe, correct?
The new owners renamed the dog, yes.
Cora?
That's correct.
And the new owners did not get that dog from
transgender.
Brian and Nicole Albert, did they?
No, they did not.
They got it from a separate person. Is that right?
That's
correct.
Named Riley?
Riley.
That's her last name, yes.
So the Alberts gave the dog to somebody named Riley in Vermont, the most generic last name ever. And then Riley gave it to someone else. We don't get to know who any of these people are, where they live. You just have to trust them. Trust me, bro. That's Chloe.
And did this person Riley have any records showing purchase of Chloe or adoption?
Yeah, and who renames a fucking 7-year-old dog? All right.
You did write a report about the newest owner of this animal, this dog, correct?
I documented my trip to the location and the
Where was the location?
steps I took and services I provided in the investigation.
And in that report, you omitted the name of the new owner.
I'm not sure.
Did you omit the location of where you actually came in contact with this animal?
You're going to have to show me my report. I don't remember.
Oh, of course you do.
Okay, I apologize about that.
No
The
problem.
one slowing us down just a little bit.
No, it is not.
You've got, there are some veterinary records that you
All
supplied
right.
along with your report, correct?
Yes.
Did you gather?
I'm sorry. What was it?
All right. So I'm going to jump to.
Reported for more than 100 days.
All right. So now we're going to talk about what he didn't do, what they didn't do in this investigation.
From the time that the event in question was done, was being memorialized?
I did not know the exact date in delay.
Are you aware that there are 11 reports that are more than 300 days from the time of the event being
11
memorialized?
reports.
I was not aware, no.
Are you aware that there are 3 reports that are more than 400 days from the time of the event that was being memorialized?
I am not aware, no.
Are you aware that there are 4 reports that are more than 500 days from the time of the event that's being memorialized?
I am not aware, no.
Are you aware that the longest delay of any report in this investigation was 581 days?
In 81 days.
I am not aware of that, no.
You became
Unbelievable.
aware
Just
early on in
inter-
your investigation of 2 individuals named Ricky D'Antonio and Heather Maxon.
Yeah.
They are witnesses, yes.
Both Ricky D'Antonio and Heather Maxon, you learned, were outside 34 Fairview in the early morning hours of January 29th.
Pretty important.
We did learn within our investigation at some point, yes.
And you learned, Sergeant, very early on in that investigation because you interviewed Ryan Nagel in February of 2022. It's just days after the event, correct?
I'm not sure of the exact date.
Obviously, as you just said, you became aware that Ricky D'Antonio and Heather Maxon were witnesses in your homicide investigation, important witnesses. You'd agree, correct?
They were witnesses.
You learned that they arrived at the house at 34 Fairview sometime after Karen Reed and John O'Keefe arrived. And
Here we
pulled
go. Watch this.
behind their parked SUV, correct?
Objection.
I'm going to allow that.
Can you repeat that, please?
Sure. You learned that where they fit into the investigative puzzle is that they pulled up behind Karen Reed's SUV when Karen Reed and John O'Keefe arrived at 34 Fairview. They pulled up sometime after that and pulled up right behind them, correct?
That's not correct.
What is not correct about that?
They arrived simultaneously. Karen Reed took a right onto Fairview.
How can they arrive simultaneously? They can't get there at the exact same fucking time. They're not drag racing. They arrived simultaneously. It was a photo finish. No, one of them had to be in front, and that was Karen Reed. I mean, how fucking easy is it to answer these questions? And he just lies.
They yielded to them and followed towards 34 Fairview, stopping at the driveway as Karen Reed proceeded further up.
Did you listen to the testimony in this case up to this point?
Okay, now we jump to this part.
I'm asking you if during the course of your investigation you learned that Ricky D'Antonio and Heather Maxon had a perspective. They were eyewitnesses to certain things.
Yes.
Relative to the SUV, correct?
Yes.
You instructed your subordinate, Michael Proctor, to interview those witnesses in August of 2022, correct?
August of 2022.
I'm not sure when they were interviewed. I don't have a memory of instructing him to go interview them.
Sure about that? That's true. Yeah, what he just said proves he's been watching the case, because how does he? Although they did tell him that in their interviews, so that's not necessarily true. That he knows what their story is about pulling up afterwards in the driveway and stuff like that.
Thank you.
Take a look at that document and tell me if you. Why don't you just tell me if that, whether or not that refreshes your recollection as to communications you had with Michael Proctor specifically? Or, I'm sorry. Thank you, Sergeant. Does that refresh your recollection as to a conversation, or I'm sorry, a communication that you had with Michael Proctor?
Unfortunately, it does not. I will take the document at face value. I do not have a memory of having these communications, but I will take the document if it's authentic and it is true and accurate that it took place. I don't.
So he did tell Michael Proctor to interview Ricky D'Antonio and Heather Maxon
I have a memory of sending these
in
documents.
August of 2022. He told them that. And then when did it happen?
Also, my name's misspelled in there. Is that from the extraction, or where is that from?
Couldn't tell you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I can't take credit for that. Thanks. If your memory is not refreshed about that particular communication, do you remember in general communicating with Michael Proctor about interviewing Ricky D'Antonio and Heather Maxon?
I do not know. I'm sorry.
Would that have been something that you would have found important relatively early on in the investigation? These are eyewitnesses. Let's get in there.
Yes, it is. It is important to interview anyone that's an eyewitness. Sometimes it takes longer because. Are you listening? I'm sorry. You asked the question. I just want to witness. So in this situation, we had no at all anything like that. Anything.
Interviewed Ricky D'Antano and
That's
okay. So it would be important, obviously, to interview witnesses in a timely manner.
Right.
In some instances, yes.
Yes.
Do you remember when Proctor actually interviewed Ricky D'Antano and I'm sorry, when Michael Proctor interviewed Ricky D'Antano and Heather Baxton?
I do.
I do not have a memory of that. No,
I know.
I'm sure a report would.
I know.
Indicate when.
I know. How come I know this and he doesn't know it?
By me was states that on Saturday, September 2nd.
Which year?
He was interviewed.
What year?
2023.
2023. He told Proctor in August of 2022 to interview them. They were interviewed 13 months later. In September of 2023, way when I was, he hadn't spoken. This is way after I was involved in everything. He's like, yeah, let's go interview those guys.
So that would be a year and a half later, correct?
Yes.
Do you believe that's a timely report?
Okay, ready? Here we go.
A timely interview for an eyewitness, the gravity of which is described in the report.
We again, perfect ideal world scenario. It would be quicker.
So that would be
ideal.
I'm not going as far, but that would be untimely, correct? A year and a half later.
We do the best we can.
We do the best we can. And therein, first of all, you don't. That's not the best you can. I mean, you want to pretend like it. If that's the best you can, then you shouldn't be a cop. You shouldn't be a detective. You should hand in your badge and gun tomorrow and you should quit. But it's not the best you can. It's intentionally done on purpose not to investigate anything. What you guys did with this is it's not what you did do to frame Karen Reed. It's what you didn't do. You didn't do shit. And that was by design, because if you don't speak with witnesses who, say stuff that like Lucky Loughran, that there's no body on the front lawn. And by the way, he hasn't gotten to Lucky Loughran yet. He hasn't gotten to the fucking Sallyport video. This might be all day on Monday. Again, all day. Oh, what a dumpster fire this douchebag is. Okay. Let me read some turtle chats here. All right. Yuri's chin implant. It says, happy Mother's Day to all the normal moms that don't lie to the feds. Thank you, Aidan, for all you do. I like that one. Thank you, Yuri's chin implant. Shelly sends $10, goes, does anyone else think that during Jen's 911 call that the second person sounded like Higgins? He sounded like Higgins. He then transfers without telling her she's being transferred to a third person. I'd have to go back and listen. Mary sends $10, goes, excellent point about no gun, GoFundMe, etc. in those messages with the McAlberts. Thank you. Karen sends $5, says, I took a criminal justice class and professor, retired state police investigator from New York, said eyewitness accounts are the least reliable. Yet that's what led Tully, Bukhenik, and Proctor's investigation, i.e. Jen McCabe, total bullshit. She also said she didn't witness anything. So there's that. Yuri's Cumrag sends $5 and goes, I'm sorry. What house are we talking about? I know. Maddie sends $10 and goes, how does the Commonwealth get away with not calling the homeowners? I hope AJ destroys all of them when the defense calls all of them on the stand. Liars, cop killers. Love you. Keep up the good work. That is what they are. They're fucking cop killers. Never forget that. Thank you. Dan sends $10 and goes, this would all end if you gave them McDonough. Yes, it would. If I caved in, if I was a weaker lad, I would just fucking do it,
But I can tell you right now, I'll say it, right? Hey, Aidan, give us fucking McDonough and we'll go easy on you.
Okay, you win. I'll give you McDonough. Thank you. All right. Emily sends $5, goes, I heard Disney is working on a sequel to Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. It's called Finding Chloe. Yes. Cora now. Thank you. Guy sends $5 and goes, I thought Jekyll and Hyde was anything but boring as Alessi ripped her to shreds. Jackson is going to have to up his game to be the number one witness. Shredder. Yes. The Albert family rock sends $10, goes, any interest in going on Runkle? He said he's open to it. I'd love to go on Runkle. Anytime he wants to have me on, I will gladly go on. Maybe I'll message him. Thanks. Shelbelin sends $5 and goes, I pay for several streaming channels and I get more content from Turtle Boy. Everyone should be signing up for Sex Cult to support our favorite content journalist and support the First Amendment. Thank you, Unc, for all you do. Yes. Sex Cult it up. It's the best way to support my content for sure. Thank you. Nicole sends $5, goes, the audacity of Bukaki trying to slut shame Karen. I'm so happy the jury members are young because I feel like younger women would understand waiting to be validated, but not really having any interest. Such a douchebag. I know. Not a single person would read those and be like, you know what? There's no flirting going on there. Thanks. I got a bunch of turtle chats here, so I'm going to bang through them as quickly as possible. Kayleen sends $10, goes, at the end of Friday's testimony, it was insinuated the driver was going to testify that Karen pulled up well before and didn't have brake lights on. Okay. Paige sends $10, goes, hi, how's Peter Murphy doing? You guys are so amazing. John DePetro is a douche. Yes, John is. Thank you. Chrissy sends $10, goes, vote for Craig McClellan. Craig kicked off his campaign this week for Norfolk DA opposing Mike Morrissey. He spoke about the debacle of this case. I'd like to see that. Send a link if you have it. Thanks. Steve sends $20, goes, thanks for doing what you've done for exposing the KR story and taking the risks you have with your freedom to continue reporting. We need more like you. My pleasure, Steve. Court TV Fears Turtle Boy sends $5, goes, we need Jackson to do the closing argument. Alessi is like Lally hopped up on 8-Ball from Ryan Nagel. I think they need to rethink Alessi doing the closing argument or Karen might not get away. Oh, okay. All right. I see. Right. Thank you. We need Jackson to do the closing. Anyway, I still think Jackson should do the closing too. Thanks. Cora sends $10 and goes, the defense team is amazing, but I would love to see them explain things more than once to the jury to connect the dots for them. I teach second grade and I have to repeat myself 100 times a day. It's true. Like when it was said that John's phone was used at 12:32, remind them right then that Karen connected to John's Wi-Fi at 12:36. More visuals will help to treat the jury like they're in second grade. I'm with you. I'm with you. As a former teacher, I totally get what you're saying. Thank you. Mandy sends $10, goes, please contact Kate from True Crime Tarot. She has uncovered documents proving that Chris Albert was involved in consuming and selling child porn photographs. Okay. Mandy, no, he wasn't. Whoever, right now, I don't know who Kate from True Crime Tarot is, but I will be ignoring her from now on because she's fucking retarded. Chris had nothing to do with child porn. It's been investigated thoroughly. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the wrong fucking Chris Albert. Look at the fucking age. Thank you for the $10. But your friend Kate is fucking retarded. And this is why you guys need to vet your information better. Okay. Chris Albert didn't have fucking kiddie porn. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, next up, Loudmouse sends $250. Woo! Thanks, Loudmouse. I braved an AFKR chat. They are all saying Higgins had a small eggplant and that the lipless wonder was biding his time until Monday. When I asked about the taillight and being impossible to shatter into 46 pieces by hitting a human body, they ranted about Turtle Boy derangement syndrome. Well, thank you, Loudmouse. I appreciate that. You can't argue with these people. They're just too retarded. Tracy sends $25, goes, sorry if I missed it, but will you be reporting from the courtroom this week? Lottery. No, I lost again. I lost the lottery again. So I will not be in the courtroom again this week, but I got a lot of other court this week. If anybody wants to come on Tuesday, I will be in Worcester Superior Court on Tuesday at 2:00 for the motion to dismiss with the fake victim. The Worcester Superior Courthouse is the nicest courthouse in the state. It's the coolest courthouse if you've never been in it. And I don't know what courtroom it's in because there's a lot, but she is representing herself. I have sued her for defamation because she lied repeatedly online and said that I raped her. No such thing occurred. Nothing. And she is filing her motion to dismiss. She raised $3,000 for a lawyer and then didn't hire one. The grift continues. Thank you very much. All right, next up. Stephanie sends $5 and says, as a police officer of over 20 years, Bukaki is teaching every cop of how to never act on the stand. True. Sammy's down. sends $25 and says, Sammy's down your mom, and says, my video of someone coughing in the trial during important witnesses' questions went viral on TikTok. Who is coughing in the courtroom? No clue. Courtney sends $25 and says, I have to disagree with you. I thought the documentary really showed how honest and relatable she was. Yeah, but that's because we're on her side. That's because we're on her side. I feel like if we were honest about it, we'd feel the same way that she feels. I get it. I'm with you. Also, the last episode humanized her so much, I legit cried. Yeah, that was the episode where she cries and like she's like, the emotion she feels going into the verdict, or what she thought was the verdict, nerve-wracking. Dorothy sends $10, goes, they should file a motion to reconsider Mike Easter seeing all the BS with the investigation. I agree. Thinking of coming down to Dedham from Newburyport when Arca testifies. Bring my mom. She's 82 and loves you and Cameron Reed. Bring everyone. I love the buffer zone the other day, Thursday. Great crowd. Great crowd. I'm going to be there as much as I can. Can't be there every day, but I'm going to be there as much as I can. And I can't wait to see some of you fine people there as well. Thank you. Tristan sends $10, goes, there's a reason why they say anything you say will be used against you. Anything that helps you is self-serving statements and not evidence or admissible in court. Anything you say can hurt you is statements against a party opponent and admissible. Okay, thanks. Rick sends $10, goes, Turtle Boy reminds me of John Cena. Okay. We need Turtle Boy to take on Bukaki in the ring. Okay. Karen sends $5, goes, did it ever come out why Paul O'Keefe and his crotch got banned to the back row? I haven't seen anything in it yet. And my name sounds like Green Eyes. Okay. So Paul is in the back row because he was allegedly staring and because of the looks he's giving Karen Reed. He finally got called out for it. I think it made like it was the jury was seeing it, and it's just it biases Karen, so it's not good. All right. Next up, DePetro's policy sends $10 and goes, Turtle Boy's interaction with DePetro made my week. Please do not adhere to his policy. I will not. I'm ignoring his policy. Gina sends $10, goes, what do you think about John's dad rarely being in court? And do you think the defense will call him? No, they won't, but I don't think he's that into it. Claire sends $25, goes, Bukaki is the beginning of the end for the prosecution, and I'm here for it. Let's fucking go. Free Turtle Boy, free Karen Reed, and hashtag just a normal mom. Lilu Morgan sends $10, goes, check out Maureen Hancock on TikTok. She does the best Auntie Bev impression. I will not be doing that because that stupid cunt thinks Karen Reed is guilty, and quite frankly, I'm sick of seeing people share her shit. Like, oh, she's so funny. She does a great Auntie Bev impression. I don't give a fuck. She says Karen Reed's guilty. She can go fuck herself. She can go die in a fucking fire for all I care. I can say that because she's not a witness. I don't give a shit. Fuck her. Fuck her. It's not funny. It's not cute. I've never once watched that shit. As soon as I heard that she thinks Karen Reed's guilty, she's fucking dead to me. Fucking dead to me. I won't watch her. You can watch her. You can watch people that think fucking Karen Reed's guilty because they amuse you. I ain't. So there's that. Anyway, next. Nobody Houston sends $5, goes, Jessica Hyde gave off serious vibes of this one time at band camp. I know, she really did. Mark sends $25, goes, Dr. Turtle Boy, my girlfriend Sydney and I are big fans. Please give her Karen Reed TikTok at Sydney Suss a shout out. You are doing great work. Free Karen Reed. Well, I'm glad your girlfriend likes it. Keep up the good work, Sydney. Jessica's Hiding the Truth sends $5 and goes, the basic version of the Jessica Hyde Ian Whiffen 227 argument is there's an artifact in one of the databases that shows the time that the tab was open, but the content that was up when the tab was closed. Hence why the 624 search would show up at 623 search. I don't know what this means. I still think they are wrong though, because Richard McGreen. Okay, I don't give a shit about any of that. Don't know what any of that means. Gives me a headache. Thank you. Anonymous sends $10, goes, who is Bob Clinton with the stanky ass breath? I heard he's dead. So RIP Bob Clinton and your stanky breath. Thank God he didn't have to witness that. That's horrible. I don't remember that for the first trial. Leave Bob Clinton alone. I mean, how horrible is that they included that? Unnecessary. Unnecessary. Okay. Got a few more to read here. Actually, a bunch. I'm going to read this as quick as I can because it's getting late. I'm tired, but we got over 10,000 people here still at past 12:30. Okay. Man, there's a bunch. Wow. This is a lot. I'm going to read as many as I can fast. Oh my God. These are fucking, it's a good problem to have, I guess. All right. No more turtle chats. All right. Morgan sends $5, goes, do you think Trooper Paul will be called? I'm dying to hear him pronounce definitively again. No, I don't, but the defense might. I don't know what they're going to ask him. Other than showing that, like, look at, like, what's your theory on the case? I guess they could. I would call him and just be like, so you're the crash reconstructionist, right? So what do you think happened? And do it all over again. And by the way, his theory is going to be different from the new theory. So it just shows that they're making shit up as they go along. Next up, Polly Pirouette sends $10, says, can you please play the potato cannon question from Arcaday? It was so fucking funny. I don't have it with me, but I'll maybe another time. Thanks. Back to the Future sends $10 and goes, Google, Tully is Baby Clay's real dad. Close tab. Turtle Boy's next YouTube presentation lists the search date as 2/17/1997. I don't get it. Side note, never stop saying YouTube presentation. I won't, I promise. Kimba sends $10 and goes, did Karen really give the finger? No, she did not. While Bukaki read text messages, or was that fabricated? I'd never seen it during the trial, so it's untrue. She goes like this. It's on video. She's like this. She goes like this. That's it. You think that's giving the middle finger? Going like that? It's also not directed at fucking Bukaki. It would have been directed at John DePetro, and he deserves it. Thank you. Letters by Betero sends $10 and goes, hey, Unc, did you notice AJ specifically asked Bukaki what Higgins was wearing in the Waterfall video? AJ asked this for a reason. I'm thinking Higgins is wearing different clothes in the CPD video. Ooh. And the Commonwealth kept this from the defense in the first trial. Why would he change his clothes? That would be fucking wild. Letters by Betero. That would be wild. JT sends $10 and goes, Bev is like Aunt Lydia Handmaid's Tale. Free Karen Reed, please. Thanks, Doc. Awesome. Mia Fleming Steelman sends $138. That's a random number and a big one. I'll take it. Says, thank you, Dr. Turtle Boy. The lawyer daughter is a wild baby. Weird. For the love of clicks, pay attention, class. Dr. Turtle Boy and lawyer, you know. Okay. Thank you. Human Tetris Piece sends $10 and says, so if you get a random pizza delivery tonight, can you tell them you're broadcasting and he needs to learn the obvious policy? But also, what the fuck? Karen wasn't broadcasting. She was being broadcasted. The fuck is the difference, John DeShit Show? Oh, I like that one. John DeShit Show. Matthew sends $5 and goes, shout out Paula and Brian of Braintree. Hashtag free Karen Reed. Okay. Jeff sends $20 and says, happy birthday to the lovely Lynn in Franklin and free Karen Reed. Awesome. Angela sends $5, goes, Doctor, the way I envision Spanky prepping his witnesses is him pulling a Costanza and saying, just remember, it's not a lie if you believe it. I like that one. Jeff sends 20 and says, happy birthday. I already read that one. Albert sends $10, goes, I want Yuri explanation for Sallyport being night and day when SUV drives in. Rear door is night. Well, front has wind coming in. And guy slips. Okay. Hallie sends $10 and goes, 2 questions. Can you please find out for me if I can wear Daddy Doctor Uncle's t-shirt with the Terrapin picture in the buffer zone? You'll find out when you get there. And number 2, can normal moms be in Ratchet Madness? Oh, there's going to be a couple normal moms in there. Thanks. Alessi's Ellipsis Papa sends $50 and says, ideas for Ratchet Madness. Categories for brackets. McAlbert civilians, Twitterverse press, law enforcement, first responders, DA, court, and political officials. Maybe we'll do it that way. We'll see. Thank you. Holly sends $25 and goes, couldn't make, okay, so you don't have to rate this whole thing. Last text between Karen Reed and Higgins said John's dead. Higgins does not respond to her. Makes him look guilty. Seriously boils my blood that Judge Bev lets so many witnesses change their testimony this year in comparison to last year, and she does nothing about it. I mean, I don't know what she can do, but she's definitely biased. Is it against any rules to make t-shirts saying something like KR Trial 2.0? I don't know. Supposed Commonwealth witnesses lie to fit their agenda, or would that be witness tampering? I'm not sure. Thank you. Bukkaki's third language sends $5 and goes, who else noticed Jennifer McCabe called Proctor on Valentine's Day at 7 p.m. and spoke for 20 minutes? What the fuck is that? Well, she's milking them. Thank you. Cuckoo sends $25 and says, after Bukkaki's testimony, I fully understand why Bev thought investigative protocol would be common knowledge in the vicinity. Hashtag. Keep up the great work. I know. Nefarious FBI says, on the Faraday bag topic with Waffle Jessica, who else notices she agrees with Jackson and looked at Brennan and apologized for what she said? No clue what you're talking about. Thank you. Christine sends $10 and goes, did John DePetro film jurors? I don't think he did. But the same thing happened to me last year where you're watching it on your fucking camera and everybody called the courthouse and complained about me. And then we couldn't do that anymore. So I hope they do the same, because they have no fucking life. I was on my phone last year. They all called and said I was fucking taking pictures of jurors. No Pepperoni Pizza sends $5, goes, I love the 3x1 analogy on the pepperoni chicken sandwich and waffles buffet style. What the hell was that? That was her attempt to be like relatable, and it made no fucking sense whatsoever. Thank you. Jen fixed her nefarious tooth, sends $5 and says, my theory, Brennan has all his witnesses trained to look at him when they're being crossed in a form of disrespect to the judge. Bev, in its totality, he doesn't give a fuck about her either. Okay, thanks. Holly sends $10, goes, have you seen spirit medium Maureen Hancock mimic Auntie Bev? It's hysterical. No, go fuck yourself. Thanks for the $10. Loudmouth sends $10 and says, was the taillight tested to be all the same? Because the drinking glass was, and it didn't help. Okay, I don't know. I have no idea. Thanks. Jay sends $10 and goes, Yuri pretending to read through the documents when everyone, including the jury, already knew the answer makes him look so disingenuous. Agree with that completely. Although in his defense, the docs were written in English. True. Marie sends $5 and goes, everyone who did sheep CPR should have knelt on taillight pieces. Yes, they should have. It was all over the place, and it can cut you up. The Colombian chick sends $5 and goes, small details do count. Jen said she got the bread because she wanted to feed her niece. Well, she doesn't want to buy her fast food, but Sarah said she bought it for the snowstorm. Which one is it? Exactly. Rosaline sends $10, goes, Dr. Turtleboy, funny how Brian Albert, anyone else in the house never found any pieces of taillight on their own lawn. It's a good point. They go out there every day. They never found any taillight. Did that guy ever come out of his house again? I know. He must have stayed in there forever. I thought he was a cooperating witness. Not very helpful. When is your next court date? Tuesday. Motion to dismiss in Worcester. Thanks. Bukkake Arnold Schwarzenegger sends $5, goes, the way Jen needed a screenshot of the text from the Nagels, only it's because they saw John go inside and wanted to see what they texted. P.S. Love how the adult teeth is growing like Pinocchio's noses. Thanks. Mary sends $10 and goes, you are right on. I said the same thing. Back to Ukraine, Bukkake. Exactly. Patrick sends $5 and goes, Bukkake looks like Eddie Munster. Facts. Donna Graves sends $250. Woo! And says, thank you. Thank you, Donna. You're the best. Cat Cool sends $5 and goes, his second language is Pig Latin, and he sounds like Peter Griffin when the speed is 2 times. Okay. Norfolk DA, its finest, sends $5 and says, the fact that these young cops compromised their career for them and their family to cover corruption for retired old farts is nefarious. They never cared if you, as long as they all covered them. Okay, thanks. Sweet Pea sends $10, goes, and none of the Alberts went out onto the front lawn from 129 to 218 and called police to say there's red taillight on their lawn. Exactly. That's what the other guy just said. That's a great point. The McAlberts never saw it either. Ryan sends $10, goes, free Karen Reed and let's go Celtics. Yeah, buddy. We're favorites once again. Let's do it. Got to win that next one, though. Got to win that next one. Mikkel sends $25 and goes, do you think the jury could find reasonable doubt on the intoxication part if they point out that she was drinking with their cops and they thought she was okay to drive? John, no, I don't. I don't think that's how it works. Thank you. Angie sends $15 and said, AJ said, fuck around and find out. Answer my questions or I'll make you read more texts. Exactly. The Webster's Theory sends $5 and goes, I know it's not of importance on the trial, but has anyone saw the footage outside of the waterfall of John talking to Jen and then he leaves and she stays in the middle of the street like, bitch, you was instructed to invite him over and caring for someone else's man. Okay, thanks. Erica sends $10, goes, Dr. Daddy, I didn't think where Jessica Hyde was on 9/11. I didn't ask where Jessica Hyde was on 9/11. I'm dying. She was actually a Marine for 6 years. Oops. Was she radicalized? I don't know. Shocking, I know. Thanks, Erica. Jax sends $25. Jax from Omaha and says, hey, yo, Dr. Daddy, I'll be landing in Boston the afternoon of the 21st. I'm really hoping to see you there for at least a photo op. I'll be there. The First Amendment matters. I love what you do and what you stand for. BT Dubs. Lally had a far better strategy with boring the jurors to death than Brennan has with his try-hard attitude. At this point, he just looks like a jerk-off. Free Karen Reed and Turtle Boy. Nice. Omaha Turtle Riders. Sweet. My fuck boy is ATF sends $10 and goes, please watch Beat and Trouble 31 videos we did earlier. Smoking gun taillight proof. Exactly. Dr. Misty Brown sends $100 and says, grateful for all the truth you bring to the table. Grateful for the $100, Dr. Misty. Appreciate it. Melissa sends $10 and says, sorry, I'm like wicked parched. The other thing about the waterfall video, and I hope the jury picked on it too, as AJ was going through each portion, it almost seemed like Sergeant B was noticing what everyone was doing for the first time. What, sir? These are some of the last moments of John O'Keefe's life caught on film, and you're not going to scrutinize this footage frame by frame, even to see what Karen Reed was doing. It's a great point. Great point. Kylie sends $5 and goes, happy Mother's Day, Bella's mom. Fuck Bella's mom. We love you on this day and every day. Keep doing what you do. Maybe not your Bella's mom. I'm talking about the other Bella's mom. Laura sends $10, goes, do you think Higgins did the Heimlich maneuver on Karen when she went to his house? Also, why is no one talking about the awkwardness that followed between them after they met up? Clearly something took place which seems important to this case. I don't know what you're talking about. Thanks for the YouTube presentations. I appreciate that. Tax Cut sends $5 and says, Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis. Okay. Done with the turtle chats. Any cash apps here? I think there's a few. Charles sends $5 and says, Aunt Bev has alopecia under her hair helmet. Okay. Callie sends $5 and goes, Jackson is masterful at putting the state police on trial. Yes, he is. Callie also sends $5 and says, your Russian accent cracks me up. I do the best I can. Haley sends $30 and goes, shout out to hot revenge-seeking girlfriends. Okay, thank you. Candace sends $5 and says, listen, turtle, with your glasses. Thanks. Michelle sends $5 and goes, which villain do you hate the most? Oh, I hate Jennifer McCabe. How can I not? Thank you. Not Tully, though. I love Brian Tully. You wouldn't want anything bad to happen to him. Holly sends $10 and goes, Chloe changed to Cora for FBI witness protection. Okay, thank you. Shannon sends $10 and goes, acquittal or hung, nothing will change of the DA. Oh, I think I read that one already. Okay, cool. All right, guys. It's been a long fucking night. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe we have 10,000 people still watching at 1 a.m. What a fucking show, huh? The Bukaki show is over, and we're going to have more Monday for another episode of Turtle Boy Live. Oh, boy, I'm putting in the work. I am putting in the work, guys. Sorry I haven't written many articles lately. I got too much shit to do, man. Too much shit to do. Anyway, I'm exhausted. I am going to go crash. I love all you 5 people, right? Brush your teeth, and you guys have a great night. Peace to your bum crease. Outie.
It calls for data including calendars, alerts, reminders, notes, text messages, pictures, or videos from April 1st, 2023 through and including October 5th, 2023. 7